Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Alr Cobalt. Happy Hump Day, everyone. And yes, it is time for Monaco, and for the final time as well this week, for the final time as well. One of the most difficult tracks on all the calendar, on all the ALR calendar as well. So yes, it Oh, excuse me. I gotta say I was on mute for the first couple of seconds there, so I was absolutely waffling away, and I didn't realise I was on mute there. But there we go. We live and learn, or as I put it, I don't really live and learn at all, do I? I don't even learn, do I? But yes, we're just about to get ready for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. This is the first time that Cobalt is ever going to be tackling the Monaco Grand Prix as well. So let's see how they do, shall we? But before we do so, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors, shall we? Hammer time at the moment is 2 for 2. He won incredibly in the Spanish Grand Prix. Absolute dominating performance from 17th on the grid to win the Spanish Grand Prix. He now has 51 points in his account, and he is 24 points in front of Starbust in second position. He's moved up position. Brooks, he dropped him down at one position. He's now third, but he's in the promotion spot at the moment. But we've only had 2 rounds, of course. Dukanko has moved out of position. So is Iron Knight as well. Liam D dropped him down too after a frustrated, but yet he did get points, so didn't he, in Spain? But it was a frustrating day for Liam D. J Dog then, who's up 2 positions, 5 positions for Jidder. Down 2 is Smithfield Mighty. Kaz has got up 2. Winnie down 1, and Winnie down 3, and Picasso also down at 1 as well. But drives down scored so far: Sir Dave, Booty, Scooby Stew, ZGS, Styles, Bookass, Money Things, and Cosmo. In terms of the Constructors Championship, it is AlphaTauri leading the championship 51 points in front of the Alfa Romeo, who is second, and they're 15 points separates the two Alphas. Incredible. Williams are in third position. The Aston Martin are in fourth, and Haas have jumped up 2 positions. They are now in fifth position. Alpine dropping down a position. McLaren have moved up to seventh, with Ferrari moving up into eighth position. Red Bull, Mercedes at ninth and 10th, and Mercedes are the only team, I think, who've yet to score in ALR, which I'm sure that's actually Porky's, wasn't it? Because I'm sure I said last night that there was another team that hadn't scored up until last night, and I can't remember who that was then. But there we go. Good stuff indeed there. My memory is absolutely appalling, isn't it? So there we go. Yeah, but as I mentioned already in the broadcast, it's the first ever time that Cobalt will be tackling the Monaco Grand Prix. Bert Mylander's been on vacation. He's been AWOL, absent without leave this week, hasn't he? I'm not entirely sure where he's gone, really. We've only had one virtual safety car as well, which is very unusual in the world of ALR and in the world of League Race as well. But I feel that is something. It must be something to do with the game, because we've had so many incidents, and should have had safety cars, should have and could have and would have had safety cars, really. So I'm not 100% sure why why we haven't been burnt out then. But to be honest, I think safety cars do cause more incidents, don't they? Unfortunately, last night we only had 8 cars finish the race. We've had the 2 Mercedes who crashed, and Irvine crashed as well, but they were actually classified in the points then. So good stuff indeed then for those drivers. But yeah, it was quite a high attrition rate, wasn't it? Similar to the Monaco 1996 Grand Prix. Remember, where it's only 3 drivers across the line. I think only 4 was classified, wasn't it? Of course, there was Olivier Parnes' one and only Grand Prix, and that was Ligier's last ever Grand Prix win in Formula One as well. And that was our last ever season before they became the Prost Mugen Honda team in 1997. And talking to Panis, then what could have been there for Olivier, because he was fantastic in 97, was it? The combination of that incredible Prost car, really good indeed, wasn't it? It was designed by the Ligier team, if I'm not very much mistaken. And the Bristol tires was absolutely fantastic as well that year. Unfortunately, Panis broke both his legs in the Canadian Grand Prix, didn't he? Which is heartbreaking, to say the least, because I think at that moment in time, Panis was third in the World Championship, I think. He was absolutely flying in 97, fantastic, but unfortunately, that didn't. Unfortunately, though, he broke his legs, and I don't think he was ever the same driver, really, because 98, the Prost car wasn't that good, was it? And Panis, I don't think never really got to his best then after that race, which is such a shame, then, wasn't it, really, in the Canadian Grand Prix, which is going to be the venue for our not next race, but the race after that, because of course we've got another street track that's going to be coming at you quite fearlessly. Is that a word? It is now. Quite fearlessly. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Anyway. But we got another track coming at us next week, and that is Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've got 18 drivers in this session, and it's the countdown is on for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. And this is the fourth and final time then that we are going to be tackling the streets of Monaco. We've had action all the way, haven't we? From qualifying, right from the green light in the qualifying, right through to the final lap of the race itself, and here in Monaco. And I am going to be I'm going to be disappointed to see the end of this Monaco event. And we've had two first-time Grand Prix winners, haven't we, in Monaco? Of course, in gold and silver. We had it was two reserve drivers as well, wasn't it? So good 17th. And Theo got his second Grand Prix win of his career in Monaco. Last night. Of course, Ayrton was close to getting his second Grand Prix win, but he came up a little bit short there. But he'd be very happy with second, and he retook the lead in the Bronze World Championship as well, didn't he? Of course, whatever happens tonight, then I don't think we're going to have a change of a championship, because I think the Starbus is not driving tonight then, and he is the only driver. He was the only driver that can dethrone Hammer Time's advance. But having said that, I am going to take back all what I've said, because of course we've got a new Williams driver this race, and Paris who's been driving for the Williams for the last 2 weeks actually. But Paris is now a full-time driver, and if he is only 18 points away from Hammer Time, so Paris could potentially take the lead in the World Championship here tonight if Hammer Time has a miserable day of it. But we'll find out. We'll find out how that one goes then. We've only had 23 cars in Cobalt, and so we've had this has been the least amount of reserve drivers that we've used in all of ALR this season. So fantastic stuff from the Cobalt drivers. Unfortunately, we've only got 18 drivers in here. It's not many drivers fancied the challenge of Monaco, did they? But let's see how they do. There's now coming out of the pits. It's only one car coming out of the pits, and that's the Haas car at the moment. Kakarot Goku, good evening. We got Percy saying evening. We got Picasso evening as well, and Serious Russian saying good luck Kobo, hashtag of justice for Brooksy. Then of course Brooksy, unfortunately I don't think he's in tonight either, but also Brooksy unfortunately had technical gremlins, and it's really robbed his Spanish Grand Prix, basically robbed his Spanish Grand Prix experience, didn't he? He got on pole position then, and unfortunately technical gremlins, didn't he, which basically ruined his week there, and that was such a shame for Brooksy, and that is why he is languishing fourth in the World Championship at the moment. Level on points with his teammate Dukanko, who's had a very good strong start, and they both the Alfa Romeo team teammates have great stuff indeed there. Carrying on with the old comments, and we've got young Tommy evening, or Theo saying evening everyone. Is a Serge Busher is congratulating Theo on his low win last night. He was absolutely fantastic, wasn't he? Great stuff indeed there for Theo. I got toothache again. Picasso saying, Sean, will I win tonight? If I say yes, you probably won't, because I got to say, if I'm a better man, go for the opposite of what I say, because that's usually what happens, really. But I do think that Picasso, I'll be looking forward to see what Picasso does. We've got TJ Hale making his second Grand Prix appearance in ALR. This is his first Grand Prix appearance in Cobalt. I think he drove in bronze for Spain in Spain last week, didn't he? He's invalidated this time right from the get-go there. So that's so TJ Hale getting a bit too overzealous going into turn one then. Here's Gino then in the Aston Martin. He's been one of the most unluckiest drivers so far here in Monaco. He's going through the pit straight, which is anything but a straight really here in Monaco, isn't it? A lot of drivers are going to be very tentative and nervous about this race then, as we're now flying up the hill as well then, and going down into Casino Square as well on board the Aston Martin. Look at the understeer on that car from Gino. He's almost having a glancing blow of the wall, which cool for that, more than a glancing blow of the wall back in 2008, and of course that famous Grand Prix in 2008. It was a wet race, wasn't it? And Lewis Hamilton there glanced the outside to backs, didn't he? Had to come in the pits there for 100 to stop. And that actually, I think, won him the race, didn't it? More off the would put him into a good position to win the Grand Prix, didn't he? So that was very good in 2008. One of my favourite Grand Prix, actually. I really enjoyed 2008, the season, as well as some of the Grand Prix as well. The other one that really comes to mind from 2008 is, of course, the British Grand Prix as well. I think that arguably one of Lewis Hamilton's greatest drives as well in the McLaren era, definitely. I think in his whole career as well. Ginner's invalidated this time, unfortunately, and he's going to have another go. Ross G, who's super subbing tonight in the Ferrari as well. As he look at that, he's really fighting the car in the Ferrari. Oh my golly gosh, then as he's now coming out of, we've got Buckass who's already off the circuit, and that's not good at all. Picasso just gone past her, and Buckass is our first driver who has gone into the wall. Then Hammer Tom has gone fast there by a whisker, just in front of Ross G in the AlphaTauri. Ross G is about 900 of a second away at the moment, but Buckass out of the qualifying session already, and that is a major blow indeed, isn't it? And there is Buckass's car, and they haven't cleared it yet because he's the best marshals in the world, aren't they? Here in Monaco, of course. So absolutely fantastic, fine stuff indeed. That I think that best marshal in the world, along with the British marshal, of course, as well. Who remember they're volunteers and they do an absolutely fantastic job, don't they? All the marshals around the world. Then Picasso there. He looked at that and he brushed the inside of the second part of the swimming pool, and because of that, it just knocked him out slightly wide, and then he just unfortunately that just is that Hale then has just had a big old bash there with the outside barrier to back. Then we've got Gino then who's just got all the way into the Nouveau Chicane. And oh goodness me, then it sounds like me trying to stop outside. I think it's a bus though. Ross G, is he going for now by the chariot? I don't think he is. Hammer Time is a second down as well. Taking a look at the yellow flags out there. Jinner and Lewis G then. Of course, these two drivers said Lewis G is a super sub tonight, isn't he? So, and both Aston Martins are getting in the way and then getting into the pits then. So I don't think the two drivers would be too happy with each other there. But really impeding each other there. So that's not too great. That's not too good at all, is it then? So Theo's asking, who is Emil? It is Picasso, my good sir, then. Yes, indeed it is. As we've also got saying, good luck, Cobalt, keep it clean, and you could have a great race indeed. Then good to say, evening, everyone, and good luck to Cobalt as well. Great stuff indeed. Then keep your comments coming in, ladies and gents. As this is going to be a absolutely fabulous call. On board Picasso then as well as so it's all good this weekend, a bit squirrely then. Picasso's been very unlucky at the start of the season, hasn't he? And of course he's only got 1 point, which I find absolutely astounding in the Williams car. Of course he now has a new teammate, doesn't he, in the form of Paris, and so I think the Williams team are going to be quite strong now from here on in. Picasso's quite a strong driver already, and look at that, and he's already 2 tenths a second in front then. But with Paris also coming into the foyer as well, then that is guys, a super team. Winnie coming out of the new Chicane, and we got Silva, who is CJ Silva, who's in the Lawls hairpin. We got Smithy Almighty, and we've also got J Dog out there as well. Just take a look at what Winnie can do there. He's still not invalidated his time, so that's still good stuff indeed then, as Ross G has gone fastest. Oh gosh, and Winnie there going almost into the Armco barrier. That's going to do some abundance amount of time there in the Red Bulls here, but here he comes as he comes out of the final turn down, and Winnie does a 14.7 there. There's a bit more time in the piggy bank, I think, for the Red Bull driver. So we're keeping on that then. There's not many pennies in the Red Bull piggy bank in terms of the in terms of the crash damage that they've had over the last 2 races there, which I read. I just did a video. I wish I did a video. Oh goodness me, if I was ever a proper content creator, goodness gracious me, anyone could do it. No, but I just did a video about that. Of course, a very interesting view. If everyone ever wants to watch any videos on Formula 1 and having quite a cool opinion. Quite a cool opinion of Formula 1, on the instance, and the races are really good YouTube channel as well. Of course, the other one I would say is there's Hale there has gone into the barrier and at the swimming pool section there, and unfortunately he's going to have to come back into the pits there, unfortunately. So major problems there for Hale, and almost bad problems there for Booty as well, as unfortunately his Booty was a bit too wide there going through turn 1, and unfortunately because that he's invalidated his time, and he's going to have another go then. Casal then currently out on circuit as well. He's about to start up in the Alfa Romeo. No Brooksy here tonight, is it? But I just want to say that he comes back into the pits. So Casal, it's not fancy in that run just yet, is he? So he comes back into the pits. I wonder if he was putting a bit of a heat cycle through those Pirelli tyres. You don't see that much these days with the Pirelli rubber, though, do you? You might have seen that back in the old days with the Goodyear tyres and in the Bridgestone tyres maybe as well at the end of the bridge, at the end of the Goodyear Bridgestone tyre war, perhaps. But yeah, you don't get those in the Pirelli era these days, do you? Pirelli rubbers do fall away quite easily, don't they? Yellow flag in sector 2. J Dog has gone into a very impressive 4th position there. Good stuff indeed there for the Haas driver. Absolutely cracking stuff indeed. Then see Powers up the hill as well. Beau Rivage. So Booty then hopefully he'll dust himself down and get going again. Then we're going to stick with Jenner for a bit then. So let's go on board with the Aston Martin driver then as he goes up the hill. So far 2 retirements in this qualifying session. We're aiming to lose another driver. Styles Buckass is out of qualifying, unfortunately. So the highest that they could qualify now is either 10th, 15th. But I expect drivers to just get a time on the board then, and then maybe go for broke in the last minute or two of this qualifying session. Then, of course, you still have to be in it to win it, don't you? Tiger saying, I see our new phrase for the season is golly gosh. I don't know. I think I heard it off a film a couple of weeks ago. I think it was literally just before the Spanish Grand Prix, and ever since then I've just had it in my head. I think it was the Spanish Grand Prix. It was no, I can't remember now what it was. But oh no, that's not good. And hail is I'm not sure if there's instant or what, but hail was I'm not sure if there's some coming together, but I just seen two cars next to each other there, and hopefully they haven't come into each other. I don't think they have. Maybe I'm being a bit too suspect there, and perhaps I've been playing too much Among Us, haven't I? For that kind of shenanigans. There is Jinner coming out the final turn, and lovely shot here from the side pod, looking backwards. Jinner goes 6th fastest at this moment, then as Hale is just getting out of the way at the moment, and so good stuff indeed. Booty is done another invalidation time now, so he's going to have to have another go around the track. There's Dukanko there, just get out of the way of Sir Dave, who is flying down into the new Val chicane. Then Paris then as a new Williams driver then, so he's now, well, he's been a Williams driver since his debut, hasn't he? But now he is a full-fledged driver then, isn't he? So he's been given a nod, and let's see what he can do then as he flicks it into turn 1 out of Sandervoort, then powering up the hill in Beau Rivage then. As look at this, as he is going over 165 miles an hour, then coming down the gears then into just under 100 miles an hour as well, before getting back on the power then. Of course, there's a bump, isn't there, in the middle of the road there as we come down to Maribor. He goes around that bump because there's a junction around there, and now coming to the Lowe's hairpin, which I was just discussing with Dan Murphy actually, which is probably not called the Lowe's hairpin at all. I think it's the Grand Hotel hairpin now, isn't it? But luckily me and Dan are almost cut from the same cloth. Well, I suppose the only same thing about me and Dan is that we're both ginger. Unfortunately, I'm shorter than a short thing, and I don't think Dan is that short at all, really, is he? But of course, he did try to avoid me when I did my tour of Turkey that one time. We got Paris then, who's coming out of the new Val chicane before going into Tabac as well, giving the barriers on the outside a bit of a wide berth as they're now coming into the second part of the swimming pool as well. I love this part of the track then, from Tabac into the second part of the swimming pool. It's absolutely incredible stuff. The Booty's gone at 6th fastest when he's kept himself on the island. He's 6th fastest. Booty is Paris going across the line in 4th fast there, a whisker behind his teammate, 1300ths of a second then, if you want to be precise about it. Sir Dave is invalidated this time then, so that's a very naughty boy there for Sir Dave, as we've got a car who is off the circuit, and that is Silva, who is in the pit lane. It looks like he's just called it a day in qualifying, hasn't he? We've got Lewis G, who's done a 24. He's going to have to find some more time, isn't he? What about Dukanko across the line as well? And Dukanko goes 5th fastest. Good times indeed there. Scuba Stew out on the lap as well. What about Hale then? And here comes Hale then. He's used a lot of deployment on the battery, but Hale comes across the line, goes 10th fastest in the Haas car. A bit like Booty, when he gets it together there, he is pretty quick, isn't he? Lewis G then, who's down on the first sector. Davis having a look as well. Oh gosh, really, there's a wingless Cassell there, and he's also invalidated this time just for a double blow. Scooby Stew flying through the tunnel before emerging out into the daylight as well. As Joe's ready to say, strawberry blonde Sean. Yeesh. Indeed, yes. It is strawberry blonde, or is it Moroccan sunset or autumn dawn? We got Scooby Stew then flying through where are we? The swimming pool section as well. This is, of course, one of the shortest tracks on the calendar. I think it is the shortest track on the calendar, isn't it? If someone could let me know if that's right or not, I'd love to know. But I'm sure it's the shortest track on the calendar. It's not the shortest in terms of time, which is Austria, where we're doing like 63-second laps, aren't we? Austria, of course, is goodness me, and Scooby Stew there clouting the barrier. Lewis G has found his mojo there, and he's got a couple of seconds great. And what about Dave? Dave has gone left fast as well on a 12.8 there. A good representative, good time there for Dave, but albeit I'm not sure why he's parked in the middle of the track there. And oh gosh, sir, and my word, that is not a very expert parking there from Dave. And I think that was Dukanko who had to luckily just about avoid the stationary Dave. My word there. Paige, evening, good evening, Paige there, and Osiris Russia there also saying evening to Paige as well. Welcome welcome. Ducanco is currently on 2-lap tire. He's on 3-lap old tires at the moment. Casal still at the pit lane at the moment, which is Ducanco's teammate at the moment, isn't he? Or is it Duncan? Or is it Dave? Or I can't remember, or is that someone else? But there we go. I've been calling him all kinds of names apart from his right name, which is shame on me. Shame on me then. As Picasso does find Dave's antics into Sandoval quite funny. To be honest, I gotta say, I just do shake my head in absolute disappointment sometimes with Dave. But there we go. Oh my word! There's Ducanco getting a bit of sludge on the outside there, as a Dave parking quite precarious on the on the outside of Sandoval there. One of the arts about this circuit though is also making sure you do not impede anyone, and I think that it's very difficult, isn't it, there to we've seen it with a lot of drivers, haven't we? I've seen it with a lot of drivers, haven't we? Ross G is flying out there at the moment. He's 0.7 of a second in front of Hammer Time, and that is a statement of intent. Jenner has flown through the Nouvelle Chicane. That's the quickest you're going to see anyone go through that Nouvelle Chicane here tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed. That as Picasso was saying, I don't know. I gotta say, he's told me so many times how to pronounce his name. It's absolutely shameful, isn't it? Really, I'm not. To be honest, I think that I might see my P45 come through the post sometime or whatever when Nosey finally finds someone who could say drivers' names. We've got Booty Delight then, who is still invalidated this time then, but he's done a time which is good enough to get through the moment. 2.5 minutes ago, Casal has not put another time on the board just yet, but he has come out the pits. But Ross G is flying out there at the moment. The Friday, he's getting in some amazing time. He's 2/10 of a second up in the second there. Ross G he's flying out there in the Ferrari. Fantastic performance here from Ross G. He is really he's really got a bit between his teeth. Yellow flag in going down into Mirabo then is one of the Alpha Tauris. What about Ross G? He's going to be quicker. He is quicker. He's in the 9s there. My word, there he's smashing it here tonight. And wow, that is a major statement of intent now from Ross G. Fantastic stuff indeed from the Ferrari driver. He is fastest in a qualifying one. 6/10 of a second off in the second sector then. So I think that it's Booty there who is just hugging inside the inside curve there a bit too much there, wasn't he? Booty Delight was, so he's invalidated his time, Booty, so he's going to be coming back to the pits, I have a feeling then, as he gets out of the way of Casal then. So that's what the yellow flag's for. They're on board with the Alfa Romeo driver then, coming into Rascas as well. Of course, that is a bar, isn't it there? And I might be going to the bar later on then. Of course, the bar is also an old Formula 1 team as well, but it wasn't called BAR. It's called British American Racing, BAR, which is in today's world is actually the Mercedes team, isn't it? Funny how things transpire, isn't it? Of course, and BAR I think was I'm sure that they bought the Turl team, didn't they? Off Ken Turl back in 1998, wasn't it? I think it was that. Of course, Ken Turl wasn't team principal, I don't think, in 1998. In the end, unfortunately, as he decided he didn't want Ricardo Rosset in the car, did he? So he just decided to call it a day there. As a Rosset there had a bit of a reputation, didn't he? By then, so he was a part of the Arrows footwork team in '96 and '97. He was a part of the Lola program, which unfortunately didn't get off the ground there. They were quite slow, the Lola team, weren't they? In the Australian Grand Prix, they made the 107% rule. I think it was about 7 seconds off the pace of the 107% rule, which was quite slow indeed, was it, for the Lola team? Because I think they was meant to make their debut in Formula 1 back in 1998, didn't they? I think, but they bought it. I think when Mastercard decided to. Oh gosh, I can't remember what I'm saying now. As he just really put him off my game, and Casal's gone faster. So I think that should be all the time runners that have gone through. Then Lewis G has found some time as well. But yeah, that is qualifying one done and dusted. I think that as Scooby Stew is happy with that. Then as Lewis G going fast as well. As the two Gs are top of the standings there now. Qualifying one, fantastic stuff indeed. As Ross G has just said, sorry troops there. As Picasso saying that Ross G laughing with us. As I've got to say, Ross G will be laughing all the way back to the pit lane on that. When it's a good stuff indeed there for Ross G, and I think Ferrari will be very up for that. Ferrari have only got 4 points so far in the constructors, if I'm not very much mistaken. I am not very much mistaken as well, and so Ferrari do need a bit of a boost, don't they, here tonight, and I think they got it in the form of Ross G. Fantastic stuff indeed there, as Lewis G is second fastest at the moment then. Going back to the Lola story, yeah, I think MasterCard wanted them to. I think the MasterCard wanted them to start in '97 rather than '98, didn't they? And Lola was not ready by any stretch of the imagination, were they really? So unfortunately, they had to fast track their car, didn't they, to Australia? And it was. I've got to say that was such a shame for Lola. Which is unfortunately when you hear a lot of the old stories about new teams coming through the ranks in the mid 90s, you do hear a lot about trying to rush it through like a year earlier, and it never goes well, does it really? And unfortunately, even in the modern era of Formula 1, then out of the last 4 teams, only Haas have really had a successful business model. The 3 new teams from 2010, well, they weren't very successful at all, unfortunately, were they? There's only one of those 3 teams actually got a point in the end, didn't they? As TJ Hale comes across the line to finish 13th of a qualifying one then, and he's found a 10th for a second as well. So good 7th there for the Haas driver, and he is going to be going into qualifying too. We've got ZJS and Kaz who have joined our session, but unfortunately they're both in the back of the field then. Kaz in 19th, ZJS in 20th position there. So unfortunately I haven't got enough time to go back out. So that is such a shame for those 2 drivers. So they're going to have probably the least favourable position in the Monaco Grand Prix. They'll be starting 20th and 19th on the grid. That is such a shame, then, isn't it? For those 2 drivers. And Troy saying, you learn new things every stream when Sean is commentated. Well, whether that's true or not, Troy, I do not know. Got to be honest, I pick up these like snippets of information. Sometimes I don't even know if it's true, but there you go. I kind of believe what I hear, really. So there you go. I don't really invest. I'm quite a lazy person, to be honest. If I hear something, I'm like, yes, that sounds good. I should really probably investigate, but I'm too lazy to investigate, really. But I think I dig that off a reasonable source. I'm sure it was there's a guy called Josh Revel, I think, who's a YouTuber as well, and I really enjoyed the some of the stories from Formula 1 and yesterday. Some of the background stories really good, and I think that's why Drive to Survive is probably quite a successful as Kaz is coming out out of the pit then. So goodness me, I apologise, Kaz. Kaz is doing that then. Picasso, thank you very much there as he points me in the right direction. That's exactly what I need, as I am absolutely waffling away then as Kaz there with the Charles Leclerc helmet on there. Lovely stuff indeed, and hopefully he keeps his helmet on for qualifying too. Having said that, we all know that Picasso didn't keep his helmet on, did he? In the was it the Bahrain Grand Prix? I think it was, wasn't it? There is Kaz there. Let's see, can Kaz get out of qualifying one? And if he can, is he going to inflict misery on Winnie, who is currently 15 fast at the moment? And Winnie probably thought he was safe and sound through there, but unfortunately this may be a problem for the Red Bull driver, as the Ferrari, who's looking is looking a bit slow there. He hasn't used much of the battery, has he? And comes across the line, and he's now setting the time now, so I'm well out of sync actually, aren't I? Goodness me. So Kaz is now doing a lap now he powers up the hill then, as we're on board the Ferrari driver then, as he goes just going over the crest of the hill as well, 170 miles an hour as he comes down into Casino Square then. So now let's see what Kaz can do then, and coming over the Casino Square there, he has to go around that little bump there, don't you, because that really unsettles the car. Of course, that's an infamous corner mirror, but was it back in 2014 where Rosberg decided to park his car there, didn't he? Whether he could have avoided that or not remains to be seen, doesn't it? There, but there were some very suspicious eyebrows being raised, wasn't there, after in the paddock after that one, wasn't there? As a Kaz has not been allowed to finish that then, but which is a bit harsh there from Cobalt, isn't it? Yeah, because he was. Because he was doing pretty well in the first sector there, but unfortunately we're not going to know if that was good enough or not. Well, it's his teammate Ross G, who is currently top of the timesheets at the moment, and as I said, then it's the 2 Gs at the top there. Ross G quickest, and the second quickest is the Aston Martin of Lewis G. Hammer time in third position, a second back at the moment there. Taking a look to see who is in the drop zone, and ZJS didn't set a time, nor the Kaz either. They're both 20th and 19th. Styles in 18th position, Buckass in 17th, and Silva in 16th position. Unfortunately, he is out of qualifying as we go into qualifying 2 then, which is coming up in when that countdown finishes, to be honest, I should have. I was meant to go to the shops today and get a hairband there. I'm hoping to get my haircut actually soon, but unfortunately my sister has decided not to speak to me at the moment, which is very rude, isn't it, of her? But there you go. Probably because I only ever ask her stuff when I need my haircut. Anyway, let's go into qualifying 2, shall we then? Enough about my personal life. I know one wants to hear about that. It says we're now into qualifying 2. Then 15 minutes ahead for the second qualifying session. We're going to lose another 5 drivers, but this one there's a bit of a caveat now. And of course that caveat is then that if you get through into qualifying 3, you have to start on the tyre which you set your fastest time on, of course, which so that could be the soft or the medium or the hard tyre, but I don't think you're allowed to do that, are you, on this game, which is a bit rubbish, really, to say the very least, because that doesn't open up all these strategic or elements, does it? Which is such a shame there, but there we go. But I know you definitely couldn't do it on F1 2020. I'm not sure about F1 2021. I must admit, I haven't done many races on this game, But even if I did do a couple of races on this game, I still wouldn't have a clue because that's just the way I am, really. I don't take much, don't take much notice about anything. Hammer Time, the championship leader, 2 for 2 in the opening 2 races here from Cobalt. Hammer Time, remember he's a 3-time Grand Prix winner last season. Last season, I don't think we've seen the best of Hammer Time, did we? But this season we certainly have already, haven't we? But of course, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. The most important time to be leading the World Championship is at the very end of the championship, of course, and that was what Sebastian Vettel certainly did back in 2010, and the only time he led the championship was after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, wasn't it? And of course, that is the most important time to win as well. And that was Vettel's first full World Championship. Doesn't that feel like a lifetime ago now? That's almost 11 years now, isn't it? Golly gosh. It really is indeed, isn't it? That's great to me. That was Red Bull's first ever World Championship. And at the moment, it's Vettel. Vettel's the only ever Red Bull World Champion at the moment. But is Verstappen going to break that? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? When the Formula 1 comes back after the summer break, which we're back in Spa. It's the best racetrack in the world, isn't it, Spa? I can't wait to see. The drivers go back and actually fly. Having said that, I can't remember the last Grand Prix in Belgium, to be honest. There we go. But that's probably because I've been asleep umpteen times since then. No one's out on a lap at the moment, and there's a couple of drivers on an out lap at the moment. So we've got Hale on the medium tyres. We've got Hammer Time has gone soft. Picasso and Ross G have gone medium tyres. Medium tyres for Lewis G, and soft tyres for his teammate Gino. Then we just seen Hammer Time's teammate coming out of the pits. There he is in the background there. And that is a Boo Delight then. So we're now coming up the hill then, and here is Hammer Time then going over the crest set, and now we're starting to drop it down the hill. So we're coming into Casino Square as well. There's been a lot of tears over the years of Formula 1 inside and outside the casino, I am sure of that. Of course, Martin Brundle ended his last ever Monaco Grand Prix in the Waller run there as well, didn't he, unfortunately? So that was such a shame there for Martin Brundle in the Jordan team, wasn't it, down in 96. And before he became what we all know him as, well, what we know him as probably the most now, and that is, of course, a TV commentator, as he went on to commentate for ITV, didn't he, in 97, all the way up to 2008. Before going BBC in 2009 to 11, and then he's been with Sky ever since, hasn't he? Martin Brundle, and I've got to say, I do love Martin Brundle's commentary, and I think my favourite commentary team was definitely Murray Walker and Martin Brundle. 97 to 2001, the commentary was absolutely spot on. Absolutely love that. And that's probably why I enjoy watching those races those years, mainly because of the commentary. As we got a problem with one of the Aston Martins there, as he is. Oh gosh, we got a major problem for Lewis G. And his Hammer Time's gone fast on an 096 there, as he's really showing some mustard now, isn't he? Goodness me, Hammer Time right and fast there. He was doing a 10s in the first in his first attempt in qualifying one. Then my goodness me, he was doing a bit of sandbagging once they Junior invalidated his time, so he's got to go around again. Picasso's invalidated his time now. What about Hale then, who is next to come across the line and to set? Hey, my word then. Set a time on the board then, because I think the two in front of him is either got a wing damage or invalidated at times, unfortunately. As here comes Hale as well then. Out of that short squirty straight then. Oh my word then, is shaking that Haas car from left to right then. Hale comes across the line. That's quite a, I think he can do a bit better than that. He's 4 tenths of a second quicker in qualifying one then. So I feel that's just trying to find his form. Ross G on the medium tyres gone to 11.5, 11.8 I should say. I would say that in this race then, a track position is king then. I think that if you're on a difficult stretch then, I would rather have track position over better tyres than this one. Of course, it's very difficult to overtake, is it probably the word most difficult overtaking on all of the calendar. Here comes Booty Delight then, getting very close to Anthony Noakes then. Goodness me, they're doing the Montoya line there. Booty is, but he is, well, that hasn't harmed him too much at all. He's in third fastest so far in qualifying too. Good stuff indeed, and there's still a long way to go though. Casal is starting this lap as well. We're keeping on him, but it's Picasso who I'm interested in the moment, and here he comes in the Williams Mercedes. I was going to say Renault. I'm a couple of years behind. Picasso then into Anthony Noakes, and wow, look at that! Then we had a driver crash twice last night on the pit straight, which is anything but a straight. Picasso goes second fastest, the quickest on the medium runner so thus far, and so is he going to be delighted with that? I think he will be delighted. He'll be very delighted indeed. Jay Dog is starting us up. Smithy Almighty is starting us up as well. We've got his going to just stick with Casal who's into the Lowes hairpin as well as we drop down the hill, and now coming into Portier as well before coming in to the tunnel. Yellow flag again, and it's one of the Haas cars. I think it's TJ Hill then just trying to back up a bit then, because you see him drivers coming out of the pits then. Very smart thing to do from Hill. Great stuff indeed then. Very much a racer's brain in that Haas driver. Fantastic. We just got Casal. Oh my goodness me. And somehow he kept it out of the barrier. Great car control there from Casal. Oh my word though, if that was me then I would have been in the wall and had to change my overalls as well. But Casal just about kept out the wall there. Is he going to abandon this time for go for another bite of the cookie? He is indeed there. J-Dog is currently in a lovely shot from the yacht there. I wish it was my yacht, but it's really not then. So J-Dog there getting a bit trigger happy on the old accelerator pedal there. Casal set time then, but I think he did back off towards the end then as he accelerates out of the final turn. J-Dog does. He comes across the line. He goes full fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed. What about Smithy Almighty coming across the line? Smithy goes into fifth fast and a couple of tenths away from his teammate at the moment. Casal is going for a second run now, and let's go on board with Casal. This is the slowest corner on all the Formula 1 calendar, which is the Lowes hairpin now. And now dropping down into Portier, and before he comes into the tunnel, the only track with a tunnel in all of the Formula 1 calendar, and just like Japan has the only figure of 8 on the calendar, they both only have one DRS as well then. So and that's where the similarities end though between Japan and Monaco, is they can be two completely different circuits, can't they? As we've got Casal going in to look at the sparks off of that Alfa Romeo. Fantastic stuff indeed. But he's 5 tenths of a second down, which is probably what I should be more concerned about. But as Roche G says, he forgot to put his ERS on there, which might account for some of the lost speed there for Roche G, who's currently third fast at the moment there. So he might be a bit disappointed. But I love these helmet designs this year. They're absolutely top notch. They really are indeed. Really impressive stuff fed from the drivers tonight. And well, not tonight, just all over the season as well as we're into the Lowes hairpin. There's a Red Bull there just going through. I think that was Winnie. Lewis G then coming out of Portier and now into the tunnel as well as he flies past me now. And look at those. I love the sparks on this game then. It's rough. It's one of the best improvements on the game then for me personally. Now the new motor chicane as well then. Before getting on the loud pedal then, before going into back as well. And so here is Lewis G as well, and goodness me, look at the commitment there. Going in to the first and second part of the swimming pool as well. Of course, they widened that part of the swimming pool back in 2003, didn't they? And they've moved the barriers a lot for in most places. And the track is more or less the same now, isn't it? As this incredible idea to have a race around Monaco. Was it back in 1922? That's a year that's sticking into my head for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm hoping I'm right on that. Jitter goes 9 fast, I said, on a 13.2 there now. He might have to find something else there in his repertoire if he wants to get through in the qualify. If he wants to stay through in the qualifying for at the moment, because we've still got 5 very capable drivers there who could still burst anyone's bubble here. Fantastic, by the way. No one has crashed out qualifying yet. Then really good stuff indeed. Then absolutely fantastic from. Absolutely fantastic there from Picasso. It's Picasso just retired from the session there, but he's very happy in second position. But Picasso is looking a strong candidate for pole position, perhaps. What about his teammate Paris said over the Alvancy Nogue said coming across the line, he goes full fast at the moment. And Paris says at the moment then I think that Picasso does have the measure over his teammate, and up until I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but up until recently I think that Paris has been probably the quicker of the two Williams drivers from my very uneducated point of view. Winnie there into Raskas as well, but I think that Picasso is looking very strong indeed then. Winnie there, oh my goodness me there, and I think he needs to be shaken at it. Raskas not an anti-note said. So Winnie there, who's lost an abundance amount of time there, so he's got to find some more time in the old car as well. Booty has done 4 laps on those tires then, and I hope he needs to change those tires before it comes back out. We have also got Scooby Stew, Ducanco out as well. Dave is on a fresh set of boots. Said Casal is on the same tires he was before then, so he wants to stay with the used tires. Said Scooby Stew has gone 9 fastest. Jinner has now been knocked out of qualifying at this moment in time. The checker flag fell This time then it would be Ginner, Winnie, Casal, Sir David, Dukanko all out to qualifying. And of course then we don't think that's how it's going to end now. I think that there's still a lot more time then to go. Sir Dave Fenn, who's in the tunnel then, this time he's more out of the way than what he was before then. So good 17 there for Dave. His awareness is getting much better then. As Carl Sarah is saying, and hello everyone, good luck to all the drivers. And Ben Gallagher, who was meant to be in the race tonight, but unfortunately had to pull out at the very late stage then, which is such a shame, so I was looking forward to see what Gallagher could do. But hopefully we will see you in action then in Baku or in a couple of races time then. And look, this Red Bull is right in the way there. That's Winnie, I think it is. It is Winnie, and Dukanko is going to be furious at that, and that is the perils there of waiting till the end of qualifying to set a time on the board there. Is that going to be a problem for Dukanko? I reckon it's going to be, because he's only 8 fast at the moment, and Winnie is going for another time around. This is the problem with Monaco, is that it is very, there is not a lot of runoff area. There's no runoff area at all, isn't there? So really, you've got to be very careful and precise, and we're getting out of driver's way, don't you? Unfortunately, Winnie is on a lap though, isn't he? As I think Dukanko has just dropped back. He hasn't indeed that. So Dukanko, has he got time for another run then? So just watching Winnie. You got Casal, who's down at the New Val chicane as well. God, I've really hurt my thumb somewhere. Kat saying, I will be signing autographs in the park a lot after the race. Said, great stuff with decals. I'll be first in line then. Of course, that as well. As soon as I've done my commentary, I will drop me mic and I'll be down there in a jiffy. Casal then, he is at a glance and blow the wall then. Ross G has gone at second fastest, so he's up with that. And Dave is off it in the wall there, and my goodness me, he was skating right off out of New Val chicane. He still hasn't changed his helmet, so I'm going to have another word with him after the race. But Dave, he had an abundance amount of understeer there. I flicked off him before flicking back on him, because I didn't feel that he was going to get the turning right. He hasn't, has he? And Dave is going to be 15th on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. And yes, that's not good at all, is it? We've got yellow flags now floating all around the circuit. Ginner is going for a tight run, but Dukanko, who is also going for a tight run as well. We might have some more drivers tripping over each other then. We've got 3 drivers there quite close to each other. We've got we've got someone there who just jumped up. It was Hale there, cracking time for Hale there. He's really grown into the Haas car tonight, isn't he? He's now 8 fastest so far. Great stuff indeed there for Hale in the Haas car. Lovely stuff. Is that going to be safely through? Well, as Dukanko's 4/10 of a second down, he's on the cusp, isn't he, at the moment then, as Booty is back in the pits there. So Booty is he's got 2 minutes to go then in this qualifying session, so he might be able to come back and change those tyres and probably put on a new set of fresh ones. I really hope so. Dukanko is just coming out to Portier and now into the tunnel as well. Ginner is also out on track as well. I think he's just backed off slightly. He has backed off slightly. We've got the other Aston Martin, who I think is Lewis G, also getting on the way as well. Dukanko was staying on board for the moment, and now going into where are we? Going into the swimming pool section as well. And now we're coming out of Raskas there. Dukanko is then car 29 then. Accelerates away then, of course. I think wasn't the last car to have 29 on the... Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. As Dukanko goes 8 fast in a row. Great stuff indeed there for Dukanko. I think the last car to sport 29 at the Monaco Grand Prix was actually Jean-Christophe Bouillon, which was a Williams test driver in 95, and before he became the Sauber driver after Carl Vendinger. Unfortunately, had a huge smash here, didn't he, in 94 there, and I think he was wasn't he in a coma or something? And of course, 94 had a lot of horrific crash that caused San Marino with both Ayrton Senna and with both Ayrton Senna and Ratzenberger unfortunately losing their lives then. But then the race after that, literally the race after that, then the car Vendiger had a huge smash there, didn't he? Unfortunately, didn't he? And that put him up for the remainder of the season. And I think he started 95, didn't he? But then I think after that it was very much sporadic appearances for Karl Vendinger, wasn't it? Which is such a shame now for the Austrian driver. And it was Jean-Christophe Bouillon then, who was the Williams driver then. Oh gosh, there, and Ginner has oh goodness me, to back there. He turned in too much there, and because of that there, he's crashed into the wall. Ralf Schumacher had a big crash there. Oh, his Ginner has now crashed into the swimming pool section, which is where Verstappen and Leclerc, Fredson as well, has all been in that barrier there, so he is very much an esteemed company there, is Ginner. But that's unfortunate there. Casal is invalidated this time. He's going to have to go around again, and Winnie there is now starting to up as well. Can Winnie get himself going? Boots the light is also making an appearance as well in this qualifying session. Lewis G has gone third fast at the moment. Winnie is skating off there, coming up there, the top of the at the top of the where are we? Oh, gosh, I think 3 days. Goodness me, then I'm absolutely. I don't know where I am. I think I'm in Monaco. I am in Monaco indeed, and of course, Casino Square. But yes, and I think that Winnie there was having some issues there with the understeer on that car, wasn't he? And yeah, he was just drifting off into no man's land, wasn't he? So camera is saying, Dylan saying evening. We've also got camera saying hi everyone. Good luck to Cobalt drivers that you will need it. Yes, indeed. And unfortunately, camera racer race all but ended before he even got to as soon as he got to Sandevot. Unfortunately, no heroics in the Sandevot. Well, one driver decided to be well, I'm not sure. I don't think he was heroic. I think it was he was the villain of the piece. Unfortunately, that driver was, and that's such a shame, isn't it? Because he really ruined. Jamie had damage out of that first corner, so the camera race as well after a great performance in qualifying. Winnie is down in 13th position. That's where he's going to stay. Then Casal is on a lap at the moment. What about Booty? Booty is 2/10 of a second down in the second intermediate split time. He's going to have an almighty run out of Raskassen in through Anthony Noakes as well, and it comes out of it. That's much better there for Booty, because last time we see him now, he was struggling on the curb, wasn't he? But here comes Booty. He goes ain't fast. A 6/10 of a second improvement. A fine final sector there. Great 17th there for Booty. Casal's in 5/8 this time, and I think that is going to be the end of qualifying too, by the looks of things, unless I've desunk again, which is quite possible. And I've just realised I've my bottle of Coke is all the way over there, which I shouldn't say that. My bottle of which says my bottle of liquid there to clinch my first. And of course, we don't do any promotional stuff here in ALR just yet. Of course, if you want us to be sponsored by ALR, then of course email us. But I'm not sure what it. But of course, I need a product to sponsor, of course, don't you? And then again, I don't think I'll be a very good advocate, because I'll probably forget to even say the product there. So I'm not really sure if that's a good idea or not. Just watching Booty Delight his through into qualifying 3. Fantastic effort there from Booty. Fantastic indeed. That he really nailed that final section. Quite lovely indeed. Only 3 drivers are on the soft tires into qualifying 3. Then that is Hammer Time, Booty, and TJ Hale. Then as Hammer Time then is fast in qualifying 2. Then, but it's still the 2 Gs of Ross G and Lewis G snapping on his heels. Then here's tonight, and Hammer G is currently 2 for 2. Hammer Time is currently 2 for 2. Out of qualifying, Dave, who hit the barrier quite heavily there, didn't he? Unfortunately, a new chicane there. He just had understeer, didn't he? And the car was just getting wider and wider. Casal out of qualifying, down in 14th position. Winnie in 13th position. Jitter in 12th. Scooby Stew in 11th position. Those are the 5 drivers out of qualifying 2. As we are now getting set for qualifying 3. Ayrton saying, "Come on, Booty." Ross G saying, "You definitely need DRS because you can gain a second then with a DRS." And of course, Ross G didn't have any DRS on his first run, did he? But second run, Metro Probison. We're just waiting for the countdown to come up then, and then we'll be on to qualifying 3 in no time at all then. Who's going to be on pole position then for for the race then? Well, we know we're going to have a new pole sitter in Cobalt this season then, because so far we've only had one pole sitter, and that driver's not in here tonight, and that's Brooks then. So his monopoly on pole position has all but ended here tonight, unfortunately. But of course, I'm sure we'll be back with a vengeance come Baku in a week's time. Of course, that's where we're headed next week for gold, silver, bronze, and Cobalt. We're going to have another street track, getting me to really, it's going to really whet the appetite as well. I like Baku as well. I hate driving it though, because I got to say, Sector 3 really intimidates me. Goodness me, I am very frightened going through to Sector 3, especially with worn tyres, especially with damage to the wings as well. And we've heard already this season of how even a glancing blow on the wings that really damage the cars, don't they? Really damaged the cars, don't they? So even a glance of blow, the wings are quite sensitive, of course, in this season, aren't they? Even more sensitive than usual. Dylan, of course, the bronze world champion there, just in the comments as well, just saying, and I heard Burnt got hungover from a casino after 3 nights. I heard he had a brilliant time in Monaco. He really has, Burnt has, and he's been partying, not on the track there where we've needed him. He's been in the casino, hasn't he, Burnt Mylander? I'm still waiting for an apology off him for him taking me out in that pre-season race in Brazil, where Bronze returned to action before season 3. But there we go. Burnt, I think he's obviously lost my number or my address then. Well, we're still waiting for qualifying 3 to get underway then. Gunnar saying a sad night for Dave on his anniversary then. Yes, unfortunately, Dave is in the barrier, unfortunately, so that's not very good at all on Dave's birthday, which is not his birthday. I just I just like to annoy him, really. Anyway, then we're going to be in the qualifying 3 in just a jiffy as well then. Thank you all for joining us for the stream tonight, and I'm really enjoying your company, by the way. keep your comments coming in, ladies and gents, as well. Yes, we're on a bit of a lull at the moment. I'm just waiting to see if the session might have to be restarted or whatnot. If that is the case, I wonder if we go straight into the Grand Prix itself then. And if that is the case, then it's going to be hammer time on pole position then. That might be so. This might be a crucial part of tonight's evening events then. But we'll wait and see what is occurring then, and then we'll be going from there. We've got 20 cars on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix, of course. And as we've said, then this is the fourth and final night of ALR action. And of course, ALR is now live all across the borders. They're from Sunday to Wednesday. And then, of course, it's PBE then who races up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the championship for Premier League and Champions League race as well. And of course, if you want to see some good racing, tune in Friday and Saturday. If you want to see some good racing, bar one random ginger who has no right even being in in the PBE, is of course I do struggle. But having said that, I was quite proud of my performance last week, so I give myself a self high five. Anyway, so Ross is saying, what is happening? It's taken so long. Indeed, it is, isn't it? So I'm not sure what is happening with the session at the moment, but we'll soon find out, won't we? So I'm just keeping an eye on the admin chat. And have I been tagged yet? Not quite, I don't think. Which is usually a good thing, because usually when I get tagged, either I've muted my mic or I've said something a bit untoward then, which is probably one or two of the case. But I don't. On this occasion, I think I have been very PC so far, very PC indeed. Then, but Ross wants to get going, doesn't he, for qualifying 3? I want to get going as well, because I want to see who's going to be on pole position. I want to see who is going to be the first driver who's going to be on pole position, apart from Brooksy. Then, because Brooksy is not a part of the events tonight. Then, unfortunately, then, which is such a shame. Then, but for pole position there for Ayrton, you heard it here first. He was on the. He has the same Jesus. A driver who came second in Mexico last season in bronze, so he must be great then. Of course, he does have the same. Well, he can't have the same jeans as me, because I'm several sizes bigger than he is, and so I won't be able to fit in his jeans then. But if he fits in my jeans, he's going to need a couple of belts then, around his waist, around his ankles then, and probably around the booty area as well, I would say. Yeah, the moment is the drivers are just going round and round there. We are not seem to having much going on in the tonight's events then, are we? I love the classification screen for this year. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? But unfortunately, I'm not really enjoying it at the moment there, as we're just taking a look at the view as well. It's also making me depressed as well, because I would love to have a boat or a yacht or something like that, but unfortunately, I'm never going to afford a boat. The only boat I've got to have is a little rubber dinghy, and even that, I'll probably float away, because I'm pretty poor at looking after things at the best of times, especially the beach. Right then, life is a beach, but I don't think we're getting much action at the moment, and I'm still waiting to see what is going on. Then I would like to hear your favourite moment of the Monaco Grand Prix. You've got quite a lot to choose from, because I think the Monaco Grand Prix has been on the Formula 1 calendar almost in every season apart from 1954 and 2020. There, I'm sure that that's the only two times it's not been on the calendar. I read that again somewhere on YouTube. There, YouTube is my knowledge. I love YouTube. I'm basically living on it more often than not then. But yeah, I think that, so those are the only two races then, which the only 2 years the Monaco Grand Prix has not had a race. Of course, Ayrton Senna, the most successful driver here, where he won 6 times, didn't he? Of course, he really announced himself on the world stage as well back in that 1984 Grand Prix, when it was absolutely bellowing down with rain, wasn't it? And he was catching Alan Prost over a second a lap, wasn't he? Absolutely fantastic stuff there. But I'm sure that there was another driver who was a lot quicker than both Prost and Senna. Was it Stefan Beloff, wasn't it? I can't remember. Was it Stefan Beloff in the Arrows? I'm not sure. So if someone can help me out, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But I'm sure Beloff was. I think he finished 5th in the end or something like that. But Beloff was absolutely flying before the red flag came out, and he would have caught both of them, I think, well before the end of the race if it went full distance there. But yeah, it was a red flag before the end. And of course, as Prost was driving the McLaren then, and Ayrton Senna was driving the Tolman, which then became the Benetton team, and then became the Renault team before it became the Lotus team. Then back to the Renault team, and now it's the Alpine team, isn't it? So it's had a lot of It's had a lot of names over the years, hasn't it? Scooby Stew saying that ZGS and Kaz need to leave if they're watching and rejoin. Yeah, I think that someone needs to leave, really, don't they? Otherwise, we're going to be here all night, aren't we? And I don't, as much as I do love commentating on ALR, I may struggle to commentate on a static screen for another 2 hours or so. I'll try my best, though. But I've got to say, I might get a bit tired as well. Ross is also getting a bit getting a bit wants to get this sorted, doesn't he? So do I then, but I'm not really sure what is going on. Hang on a minute. Let me pick up my phone. Let me see what is going on then. But yeah, hopefully we'll get going in at just a different end. Oh, the session is about to end in 27 seconds. Fantastic stuff, Ben. As soon as I pick up my phone, there we go then. So obviously I was the problem here tonight then. So there we go. Right then, yes. So let me put my phone back down. So yeah, 15 seconds till we start at qualifying 3 as well, which I think good actually, because I didn't really want to start another session and having to go for all the hullabaloo of going back out and going back in, but that's because I'm quite lazy. Right then, now we're into qualifying 3 then for the Monaco Grand Prix. We got 10 drivers then going for pole position then. We have got, so far it has been very much a monopoly, hasn't it? Which is certainly the word of the day here in Monaco. But it's been a monopoly, hasn't it, for Brooksy again. 2 pole positions in the first 2 events, and he ain't going to make a hat-trick because he's not here tonight then. Who is going to take pole positions? It's going to be one of the super subs of Ross or Lewis G. Is Paris going to get the first pole position of his career? What about Ducanco? What about Picasso? Hammer Time will have to get a pole position. What about Booty and TJ Hale? J-Dog and Smithfield Mighty then. There's questions. I don't have the answers yet then. I can't even say anything. I can't even pronounce my words then. But he comes out of the pits now. Hammer Time, the World Championship leader then. Accelerates him onto the course then. And now in car 19. Let's see what Hammer Time can do. And of course, we've got an outlap. He's got an outlap, then he can use that. Then he's going to have a quick lap, and then he'll have an in-lap then. We've got 11 minutes around this qualifying session to determine who's going to be on pole position then for the Monaco Grand Prix. The Scooby Shoot in, and here we go then. And yes, indeed, we are about to get going as well. So we've got 5 cars out of the garages at the moment. 5 cars is currently in the garages at the moment. Will they be all polite and let each other go through and after you, sir? No way, Pedro. I highly doubt that by any stretch of imagination. We've always seen a couple of instances of cars tripping over each other then in the qualifying 1 and 2 session. There's only 10 cars now, so we've half the grid, haven't we? But they'll still find each other on the same piece of track there because they all are fighting for the same bit of track, of course, because they want to get the best track conditions. And the best track conditions is usually later on in the session, so the later you leave it, the better grip that the Monaco street surface will give up there, of course. But of course, if you do leave it late, then you might trip over a car. If you leave it too late, then and there might be a car in order. There might be yellow flags at the end of the session, then which may put paid into that plan then. But here comes Hammer Time kind of cross the line then to start his lap then here in Monaco. Then it's the first ever time that the Alr Cobalt is raced around Monaco. Let's see then who is going to be the first driver to be on pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix then. So Hammer Time then is tackling this course right, coming through Casino Square. He has never been on pole position then in his career in Alr Cobalt, and I don't think anyone in this field has ever been on pole position in their Alr Cobalt career then. So we're definitely going to be guaranteed a new pole sitter here tonight, but who is that going to be then? Well, I'm not a better man then, and if I was, then I'm not going to give anyone the commentator's curse then. Every driver's out on circuit apart from Hale at the moment. Our time now coming down into the Nouvelle Chicane as well, or the Seafront Chicane I used to call it, which I think it was called the Seafront Chicane for a little while, and it was probably that was probably quite a long time ago. But as Scooby Shoo's saying, got to put McLaren out of a business type with the front wings there. Scooby Shoo is there, as Scooby Shoo there is not like it is odds then with the old front wings there, but I wouldn't worry about that, my good sir, as they've already Picasso is in the wall. Oh no, and Picasso has gone off there as Hammer Time's gone fast on an 09 flat to take pole position at the Monaco Grand Prix, but it is Picasso in the wall coming down into Mirabel then, and that's an unusual place to crash there. Oh my goodness me, he is going to be furious with that. Paris is second fast at the moment now, and Lewis G is a second fast as well then. So Hammer Time is in a completely different time zone at the moment now. Ross G has gone second fast, 6/10 of a second away at the moment now. Oh goodness me, Picasso there is showing his frustration in the comments as well. He's going to be furious with that, isn't he? And we got Ducanco going full fast in the Alfa Romeo, and he's gone into the barrier as well, unfortunately. Smithfield Mighty there is in the second part of the lap there, whereas Booty's done a 12 so far in the Alfa Tauri. Smithfield Mighty there, and it's just coming out of the swimming pool section as well. We have got 9 cars going for pole position. Picasso in the wall, he's out of qualifying. That's a huge blow for Picasso. What about J-Dog as well? Got no yellow flags on the Ferraris having issues. J-Dog's gone into the 6th fastest ahead in the Haas car. Great stuff indeed. What about Smithfield Mighty in the McLaren? Comes across the line, he goes 7 7 fastest there. 12.0, 12.42, 12.3. It's very close between those three drivers at Booty, J-Dog and Smithy. Fantastic stuff, man. Anyone go for a second bite of cherry? Hammer time certainly isn't it. He comes back into the pits and he's currently on pole position by over half a second at the moment. Hammer time is there, really showing some metal there. Very impressive stuff. Indeed, then it's into the pits. There comes Lewis G. As Dukanko is damaged his wing then, and he is quite keen to get back into the pits at the moment, isn't he there? So at the end of that first run of qualifying, and Hammer time is on pole position then for the Monaco Grand Prix. Of Ross G in second, Lewis G in third, fourth position is Dukanko, Paris is fifth, J-Dog in sixth, Smith 7th, Booty 8th, and TJ Hale has a set time 9th. Picasso out qualifying in 10th position then. That is the runners so far. And now Hale comes out of the pits and we're on board the Haas driver. Let's see then what he can do. 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Remember, in qualifying free, you have to be quite smart with your tyre strategy, don't you? Tyre strategy is not just about the races; it's also about qualifying as well, of course. So you have to be smarter. You can't use up all your tyres. You do get one new set of tyres in qualifying free, but if you want 2 runs, you have 2 runs on new tyres. You have to make sure you bring a set through from either qualifying 1 or 2 then. And Smith and Monty has gone for a second bite of the cherry, doing a great job indeed. That he's not invalidated this time, and Paris has gone 5 times a second quicker in the second split time as well. Paris has really thrown it all against the wall here in the Williams car. No, hopefully not all against the wall, I should say, but he's definitely throwing it all in the car as the out of the far turn advantage. Don't say, keep it away from that curb because you get sucked in when you're on that curb. Paris across the line. He goes 4 fastest there. Half a second he's found in that Williams car. Smithy then is a 10th a second up in the first split time then, before he come down to New Val chicane as well, about 40 miles an hour, and before getting back on the power in the Papaya McLaren car, in the McLaren Mercedes car as well. Does it just feel right to say McLaren Mercedes into the swimming pool here? The left here, then the right again, and the left bend, and now out to the into the Rascas as well. Very awkward turn as well. Then Smith Almighty abandoned his time back in the pits. He's on the third row of the grid at the moment with Dukanko. Hale's invalidated his time then, so that is not good, is it? He's got 5 minutes to replicate, 5 minutes to sort that out. Lewis G and Dukanko are both out on a lap then. Both out on the out lap at the moment then. Very early on this qualifying session then, so that is going to get very interesting indeed now, isn't it? Because do they have an extra couple of tyres? Do they have an extra 2 sets of new tyres? And for those 2 drivers, if that is the case, then they will have 3 attempts for pole position, and of course if they can get around in time, because it is quite a yes, the times already are pretty quick, aren't they? But you still have to get back to the garage then in quite a quick time, don't you? There's no hanging about on Monaco. On board Lewis G then. He needs to find a second if he wants to get on pole position. Well, just under a second. He needs to find 0.993 seconds, doesn't he, if he wants to get on pole position tonight. And Lewis G, that is what his target is tonight. As we got one of the Haas cars just get out of the way of one of the, I think it's Booty, it is Booty then, who is just on the outlap as well. And Lewis G of 10th and second up in the first intermediate split times. You come down to Mirabo. Of course, that car there is cambered, isn't it? There, so that really helps you there. Hook the inside wheel into the turn there, and you get a lovely feeling, don't you? It just hooks you around the Mirabo, doesn't it? It's a great satisfaction, a great feeling of satisfaction there when you get it right. Then yellow flags then fluttering as TJ Hale just get out of the way in the pit in the Monaco tunnel. Lewis G into the seafront chicane. Hey, no, he isn't there. Oh, he's got a glance and blow to the wall then, and that is unfortunately that is his time ruined as well. I'm not sure he's damaged the wing then, but he's probably going to come back in the pits anyway, because I think that's a bonus run. Unfortunately, it's not going to help him out here then. As Dukanko is that barrier at the background. Goodness me, look at that, it's sparking away there. My goodness me, we've got a bit of fireworks there on the inside to the into the new Val chicane now. Goodness me, I think Catherine wheel. That's a Catherine wheel there on the outside. That's a Ferrari though. That's a Ferrari right in front of us there. It's Ross G who's about to start us up then. Dukanko's not going to be too impressed with this, is he? Lewis G though is carrying on then. What about Dukanko? He might get a bit of slippery here. He's on to the front row of the grid. He's found a lot of time. He is 4/10 of a second away from a hammer time. Fantastic stuff indeed. That was mega stuff. Ross G on the lap at the moment. What about Lewis G? He's going for a second time run then. He hasn't damaged his tire at all there. Paris out on the lap then. TJ Hill's just got himself into 7th position then. Good stuff indeed. J-Dog on the lap as well. well. Well, Booty then, we're on board of Booty as he comes down to New Chicane. He's out quite early. Booty is now into the New Chicane as well, accelerating away. That's where Sir Dave crashed earlier on in qualified. Into Tobacco as well then, and he throws it in there. Good stuff indeed there. Now coming into the swimming pool. He's 8/10 second up in the second split time. That's a cracking time there for Booty. This will be enough to get him into second position at the very least. And can he get himself on the third row of the grid here, Booty? Out of Rascast into Anti-Nogue. Lovely stuff indeed. That's more coolly like then for Booty to lie across the line, and he goes 7 fastest there. Booty does. That's a cracking time. He's found a second and a half in that final attempt. J-Dog has found a second as well, and J-Dog's in 8 fastest in the Haas car as well. What about Lewis G? Lewis G comes across the line. He's found 3/10 of second, but it's not enough. He's on the second row of the grid. Robbed by Ross G. Ross G comes across the line. He's only found a fraction there. Ross G has he got time for another time run? He has indeed. There are 2 minutes to go. They're all very early in this stage of proceedings, aren't they? Goodness me. Oh wow. As Booty is 47 second up in the first split time then. Hale is down then. J-Dog is actually up in the first sector time as well. Paris is on a lap and as Ross is in the barrier. Ross is in the barrier. Ross G is out of qualifying. He's going to be third on the grid now for the Monaco Grand Prix. Take a look to see you outside at the moment. Now Hale is going for another bite of the chair as well. Is he going to have enough? He's going to have enough. Hours in fuel to complete this up. I think it's going to be very close, isn't it? Booty Delight is a 10th of a second up, but unfortunately he needs to find 2/10 of a second. And not only that, he's invalidated the time as well then. So Booty has got enough time for one more for enough fuel, I should say, for one more run. He has enough time. Oh my word there, but I'm not sure if he took a glancing blow to the barrier there. Here comes J-Dog then. He's at less than a 10th of a second away from Booty. He needs to find less than a 10th of a second to get himself back into second position. Here he comes across the line. That's a good time. That's a great time for J-Dog. He is back into the thick of things. Lewis G is out on the front row of the grid there. He's found 3/10 of a second in the Aston Martin, and he is on the front row there. And he looks like a lot of these drivers have really fueled up their cars, and they're going for multiple run set. And this to me, it feels like a wet weather session, doesn't it? I think that to remember what in a wet weather session, what is the most important thing about a wet weather session, apart from people on the track, of course? That is confidence, isn't it? And I think that this track there, you need confidence. The more confidence you get, the quicker you're going to be in this, the quicker you're going to be on this circuit as well. And I think that's what they've done. They've fueled up the car slightly heavier, and they're just going to go round and round. They're finding timing of itself there. As I think that the Booty has broken his wing now, and I might make a Mr. joke, but I don't think I'm going to. TJ Hale is lost his wing as well, and he's parked right in the middle of the circuit there. As we got Smith Almighty there, who's just coming into the final turn as well. So Booty's finished in qualifying, unfortunately. So is TJ Hale as well. So Booty 8th, TJ Hale in at 9th position then, as well as he is a very as he is kind of blocking the way there. So I think he kind of needs to get out of the way, really. Get out of the way in the nicest possible way there for Hale. And into the pits there comes Lewis G. Ducanco is on an outlap at the moment. We got Paris who's invalidated his time. He's getting a bit greedy, wasn't he, on the inside curb there. Smithy Almighty is currently into Mirabeau as well. So Ducanco has got a bit greedy there. The New Chicane, he's going to have to go around again then. Yellow flag in sector 3 then, which I think is still for TJ Hale then, who's cruising back into the pits now. We're just watching Smithy Almighty then, who is carrying on a lap at the moment. And he is 7th for a second up, and he needs to find 2/10 of a second to get himself in front of J-Dog as well. And they're now coming down into the New Chicane. And Roshi has just got himself. He's a bottle job there. Goodness gracious me, but he's still on the 4th round. Sorry, still 4th on the grid there. On the 2nd row of the grid then, which is still good in Monaco. Now it's still a good position there to really start from as well. And now then we've got Hale. No, we haven't. We've got Smith Almighty, who is in the McLaren. Look at those brake disc glowing as well before accelerating away. Ducanco is going for another time run as well. We've got 2 cars going for it. Hammer Time is going to get his first pole position of his career, or is he? What about Smith Almighty? No, Smith Almighty finishes 7th at the end there, and look at how close, less than a 10th of a second there. Oh, Ducanco's invalidated this time. He's going to be third on the grid. The man who's on pole position, it's not even on our screens. He is in the pit somewhere. He is probably celebrating away. He's already in Rascas, I think. Hammer Time is celebrating away as he is on pole position for the first time in his career. Hammer Time is and he's on pole position, probably the most important pole position of these seasons, rather, for the Monaco Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there for Hammer Time. Really well done indeed then. And goodness me, at the beginning of the session now, I thought it was going to be one of the G's getting pole position, but no, it was Hammer Time then who very much showed his teeth there towards the end of the session now, and he's on pole position. He's got 2 Grand Prix wins to his name already. He's going to get a hat trick of wins as well. Hammer Time 3/10 of a second in front of Lewis G in second position. Ducanco, great A great third position in the end then, with Roche G in fourth position, Paris in fifth then. Sixth position is J-Dog, seventh is Smithy, Booty in eighth then. Ninth is TJ Hill, and 10th position is Picasso there. He's going to be furious with himself, Picasso, because he had the pace today. He would have been easy in the top 5 on field then for Picasso, but unfortunately he's 10th on the grid then. But remember, Ayrton started 10th yesterday, and he finished second. So it's not all doom and gloom there for Picasso just yet, is it then? As we now count down to the start of the Monaco Grand Prix, our 4th and final race here in ALR this week. It's been cracking so far. We've had no Bernd Mailander, have we? But there's been a lot of rumours of where Bernd Mailander has gone. Then he's been AFK, hasn't he, all through the event so far. And we've really needed Bernd Mailander in some of the occasions there. But yeah, he's just decided to take a vacation, hasn't he? I think that he's got the wrong summer break, hasn't he? I think that the real world Formula 1 has a summer break there, but we haven't got a summer break then. Of course, we do have a 2-week gap then, don't we, later on in the year? I think it's after round 13 or 14 in the championship. Of course, there's at the moment, and the official F1 calendar is, I think it's got the United States Grand Prix and the Mexican Grand Prix on there, or I think it's one of those two. It's one of those two, and of course, ALR does it's on a Sunday, isn't it? And unfortunately, Formula 1 is why we all love this game, isn't it? As a Formula 1 is why we love this game, isn't it, of course? So that's why we got a 2-week breakdown to watch the United States and the Mexican Grand Prix live. Right then, as we go into the formation lap, then 39 laps around this Monaco street circuit then. And of course, we have this race has been on the calendar every single season in ALR, almost every single season in Formula 1 as well. It's the first time in Cobalt, though, that we are racing around the Principality. So who is going to, is TJ Hammer then? No, it isn't. It's Hammer. I keep saying that. I've now merged them two names together, and I'm like, but it is, as ZGS is in disqualified there. He's on the back of the field at the moment now. I hope he's going to be in time for the race, and otherwise he's going to be disqualified from the race as well. Yeah, Hamilton is the first rider to be on pole position there for the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's go through the grid, shall we? But before we do so, let's take a look at the tyre strategy, what is occurring around here at the moment. And that is that at the moment, we have got 3 drivers on the soft tyres. Those soft tyre drivers are Hammer Times on pole position, so he's going to wander off into this, as we'll find out. We've got Booty on the soft tyres, TJ Hale on the soft tyres as well, hard tyres for Gina, for Casal, for Sir Dave, for Buckhouse, for Styles, for Kaz, and for ZGSN. Everyone else is on the medium compound tyres. We're in the new Val chicane. I need to get a move on. Let's go for the grid. 39 laps then, Monaco Grand Prix. Day 4 of ALR. It is Hammer Tom on pole position with Lewis G alongside him on row. What a great day for Lewis G. This is debut in Cobalt. Dukanko in third position. Ross G is in fourth. Fifth is Paris on his full debut for the Williams team. Albeit it's been the Williams since the start of the season. J-Dog in sixth position now. Smith Almighty is in seventh. Booty is in eighth position, showing his qualifying class once again. Hale in ninth position. Picasso is in 10th bed. We've got big old gaps here, haven't we? In 11th position there is Scooby Stew with Jenner in 12th position on the hard tyres. 13th position is Winnie. 14th position is Casal. Sir Dave is in 15th position. He's a better place out, Sir Dave. His teammate Silva is in 16th position there, so it's an all Alpine row 8 there. Then we've got Buckass in 17th position. Styles is in 18th position. Kaz is in 19th position now. Unfortunately, wasn't allowed to finish off his up, and he hasn't even got a helmet either, Kaz hasn't. So once again, we've got a helmetless driver there. And at 20th position there is ZGS. Troy is saying, and Starnos might be a brilliant strategy call from Hamilton, and that might be good luck everywhere to come on Alpha Tari as well. Lovely shot here for the Charles Leclerc. Itself as well. The lights are on, and when we're going up, we go and race here in Monaco, and here we go then, and the lights are off, and here we go for one more time, and it's Hamilton gets away fantastically well on the soft tyres as it goes to turn 1, and that's a Williams going straight into turn 1 at Sandoval there, and that's a crash. Oh gosh, he's been dragged up the hill. Picasso, is it Picasso? Oh my goodness me, TJ Hale. Oh, it's an appalling smash there. CJS has fouled the race there. So Silva's out as well. That's a pretty appalling Grand Prix start here in Monaco, as there is going to be all kinds of anarchy out there as ZGS was disqualified from the session. Now Paris is all the way down in 17th position as well. Hammer Tom leads and ZGS, Louis G in second position, Dukanko in third, Ross G is in fourth, Smith Almighty is fifth, J-Dog in sixth, Scooby Stew 7th, and Jenner is 8th, Booty in 9th, and somehow Picasso is in a 10th position there. I'm not sure how, but he's in 10th position there. There's been debris all over the course, and TJ Hale out of the Grand Prix. Silva out of the Grand Prix as well. And so is CGS. And now going into the New Val chicane, and Winnie there going off and look, Casa, and oh, there's a debris. I think that's Ferrari debris, is it? I think it might be Ferrari debris. There's a Red Bull off in the background as well of Winnie. Oh goodness me! Picasso out of the Grand Prix, and he's got off at the swimming pool section. That's where Rosberg crashes a virtual safety car. Oh golly gosh, then what an incredible start into the Monaco Grand Prix. Aniki once again, and just like in bronze last night, then Bottas in his up 7 position. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then Sir Dave, who's got all his wings in the word direction, those stars as well. But Winnie's got no wings at all. Into the pits there comes Kaz. Then and we have what about Paris is also in the pits as well, as is Cassel. So that was a very messy start into the Monaco Grand Prix. Still got 38 laps to go there. As now the Ferrari mechanics then go to work. Kaz is just sorting himself out. Paris is also in the pits as well. He's got no wing at all then in the Williams car then. As Paris is in every single ALR event he has started in so far. He's been on the podium, hasn't he, Kaz has? Paris has. And Cassel also in the pits as well as he comes out of the exits the garage. Virtual safety car running, but Hammer Time is leading. Second position is Lewis G. Ducanco in third position. Fourth position is Ross G. They're all status quo. Dave has got a drive-through penalty there for speeding in the safety car. And that is a oh dear. Dave is going to be very unhappy about that, isn't he? We've got Scuba Shoes got a 3-second penalty for cutting the chicane by looks at Scuba Shoes up 5 positions there. Ginner's up 5 as well. 7 positions for Buckhouse. 6 positions there for Stars and Kaz. And down 10 is Paris there. And I figure it's the two Williamses that came to blows in Alessandro, I think. Just judging to see what was happening right from the get-go into turn 1 there. It was a very messy start indeed, wasn't it? As just on board then with Stars. It was all over the back of Sir David at the moment then. Remember, slow and steady wins the race there. And all goodness me, that's a bit too slow there. Into the pits there comes Ginner, and is he changing the nose cone? He is indeed. Picasso out of the Grand Prix, down to 16 cars in this race. Let me get the tire strategy up, shall we? And indeed we have Ben, and here we go then. So the tire, and Dave is also in the pits as he's got a drive-through penalty. There's Ginner there, just gets out just in front of Sir Dave, as Sir Dave gets a drive-through penalty for being a naughty Alpine driver. Hammer Time leads the Grand Prix, and he's already out of DRS. So DRS is quite, it's not very powerful around here, is it? We've only got one DRS as well, which is on the start-finish straight, which is anything but a straight, isn't it, really? But so there's only one DRS straight. Of course, we can't have it in the tunnel there because it really upset the aerodynamics, won't it? Ross G, then look at that, then goodness me. Ross G there is all over the back of Ducanco at the moment. Ducanco is now 2 seconds away then on board the Ferrari drive, and Ferrari then need some points then, don't they, on their quest there, on their quest for the Cobalt World Constructors Championship. We'll see how they do tonight then. But Ross G is flying the flag then for the Scoot area at the moment, and he is all over the back of their sister team, possibly. For Alfa Romeo then, albeit that I'd say that Haas now have like a factory next to the Ferrari team, don't they? Or they used to, or they did then. They did earlier on the season then, but I've not heard much about that since. Into the pits there comes J-Dog. Booty also in the pits as well then, so these are not scheduled stops then, as the Haas mechanics go to work. Soft tires there for J-Dog then. Remember, it's about survival of the hardest of concentration, isn't it, really? So you need to have concentration if you're going to survive this one. Booty in the pits there, he's on the hard tires, and Booty is heading a long way into this race now. He's going to go out in front of Ginner. It's going to be very tight, isn't it? But I think that Booty is going to lose a position here. He's out of the points. Booty is heading. He hasn't scored a point so far in his Cobalt career. He accelerates away, and accelerates as quickly as he can. Then coming out of the pit as well. As Sir Dave is just latching onto the back of Booty. Cassel then is all over the back then of this battle here between Winnie, Paris, and Cassel as well. So these drivers are going to get very interesting. It looks like that Lewis G is already catching Hammer Time. Has Hammer Time got damage there? Just taking a look now, as he got Styles has just got past the Buckass, and Styles has got past Buckass because he's got wing damage. Buckass has. Oh goodness me! We have also got Ducanco who's facing the wrong way, and as it's coming out of Raskas, so hopefully Ducanco has not damaged that wing. Oh goodness me! Then that's a big mistake there for Ducanco. Is he going to lose position there to Scuba Student, who's having a great race so far? He has a 3-second penalty as a J-Dog there has got past as well. It is a Buckass who's still out of everyone's way, quite doing a very gracious thing there. So Ducanco then he just needs to make sure that those tires are kept under control in terms of the temperature. back to the front chicane as well, as Winnie getting very wide there as well. Now Paris, who's all over the back of the Red Bull driver, Buckass there is still limping back to the pits as well, then, isn't he? And he's going to come into the pits now. This is 3 laps on those tires, and Winnie has got a 3-second penalty then for skipping the first part of the swimming pool section. For the first part of the swimming pool section. Serge Rushham's asked, what have I missed then? Well, you've missed a Williams car being dragged up the hill up Beau Rivage then, and incredible stuff. Well, goodness me, it's quite scary stuff. I think the 2 Williamses came to blow into the first corner there. As Troy is saying, just the old once again, they're coming up the hill then. It's going, goodness me, they're going side by side. And J-Dog then, who is he going to go on the outside? Not quite. And J-Dog's all over the back of Styles, who's now up into 7th position. Styles is oh gosh, there, and Paris somehow getting a very good well control, and also doing a very gracious thing there. Paris is as he could have cut across. Oh gosh, and Styles is out for session. Oh no, Styles is out for session of the Red Bull, and that is not good at all, is it? And that is a huge blow for Styles, because he was up to a fantastic 7th position in the Red Bull and was looking very strong. That's not going to happen anymore. Hammer time was less than a second. Now he's all of a sudden pulled out 3.7 seconds. He just has left the session. Now I don't think he was even part of this race, was he? Really, unfortunately, he is out of the Grand Prix. Styles comes into the pits, so he's left the session. Now his AR decides to box him for some of the reason. He's got wing damage as well, hasn't he? There, so that is such a shame then for Styles. So that is a double whammy, isn't it, really, there? So that is a huge shame then. Back to this incredible battle here. I'm really enjoying this one. It's Styles to come out in front of this battle. I don't think he is there. Styles on the medium tires then. Well, it's AI's on the medium tires. Cassal's going past Winnie. He is going past Winnie. Great manoeuvre into turn 1 there. Is he going to leave his space? Just about. My goodness me there. And now Winnie is very much on the back foot there. Buckass then, who is just well, he's almost a lap down already. Buckass is unfortunately in his Mercedes car having a bit of a, oh my goodness me, and Paris is through up into 13th position. A great manoeuvre there for Paris. Styles is back in the session as well, just in serious pressure. He left in the session in style there. Good stuff indeed. I'm loving up, and that's fantastic there. Is that Dave is, oh goodness me, Dave there is looking in no man's land there, and he's really struggling there. Dave is into the pits. There comes Lewis G then. I don't think Dave's got damage, or goodness me, and this is going to get very precarious. Junior's got a 3-second penalty as well, and Lewis G is on the hard tires. I think this is going to be a massive undercut here potentially, so we'll find out as well as Dave who's really strong for pace, and now there's going to be a conga line forming now behind the French Alpine car, as goodness me then. So Dave Fair, I think he had problems going down to Portier, unfortunately, and he's just dropped behind the cars as well, as Dave Fair is goodness me, and now he's going to have a queue of cars, but this is the characteristics of Monaco, isn't it? Of course, that's why you need to have a very good qualifying session. And look, Cassel, oh gosh, and Cassel hit Dave, and he's gone into the barrier there. Oh my word there, as oh gosh, I'm not sure if Cassel misjudged that or what, but goodness gracious me, he's got no wing there, Cassel, and he limps up the hill, as gosh, golly gosh there. I'm going to relook at that stream, relook at that on the stream again actually there, because that's the beauty about the action replay, isn't it? Did he hit the outside barrier, Cassel did? Let's just take a quick look there, as he was very quick, wasn't he? And I'm wondering then if he did. Just so I said, I've got a Discord notification, and that's great, isn't it? Into the pits there comes Scooby Stew. He's got no wing at all, the McLaren driver, so he comes into the pits there, stops on his marks there, puts on the medium compound tyres, and now they're changing the front nose then. We're going to stick with this battle here then, which is now Paris, who's really flying. This he had a great manoeuvre in the Casino Square, so did Cassel did as well. Unfortunately though, Cassel there misjudged going into turn 1, my bullets. I think he hit the inside barrier, the pit lane barrier, and then went into Dave. Oh goodness me! And now then Dave is really very much under the cosh now, isn't he? Dave said, is he going to buckle under the pressure? Then it's Paris right all over the gearbox of Sir Dave. Sir Dave there. It's not going to be too. He's gone wide there, hasn't he? Dave, as in Paris is through. Sir Dave then. I'm thinking that Sir Dave thinking that he's going to fight another day. That Sir Dave is he's going to. Paris is quite quick, wasn't he? Cassel is limped back to the pit lane, and unfortunately down in 15th position there, because he was making some good headway up at that point. And what's the yellow flag in sector 2 as Buckass there, who's just letting some of the drivers through. Then so good sportsmanship there for Buckass. Great stuff indeed. Then see, I wouldn't be like that at all. And Ross is into the pits. There comes Ross then. So we just see the guy comes out the pits. Well, Smithy Almighty is an into a third. Fantastic there from Smithy Almighty. Really good stuff indeed there. He's keeping his nose clean. That's exactly what he needs to do. Ross G now coming out of the pits. Well, similar strategy there to the other G of Lewis G. So good stuff indeed there. So two Gs and Singer from the same hymn sheet. However, there is now a J-Dog in between those two. So J-Dog has got in front then. He might be coming in the pits in a not too distant future. He's only on the soft tyres. Paris is in the wall. He's in the wall. Oh, goodness me. He's out of the race then. He's right in the line of fire. I don't expect Byrne to come out anytime soon, so I think that car should be taken away. But Paris is our latest retirement in this race then. Dave is into the pits then. Dave just using this opportunity to come to the pits, as is Hammer Time as well then. Hammer Time has currently got, I think that he might also be trying to cover, as Dave's in the pits now. I think that Hammer Time might be covering the two that just pitted already. He's on the hard tyres and going to go for 30 laps on those hard tyres. Is he going to be able to do that? That is the question as well, as he's coming out of the pits as well. Then is Becca, who's making a very bold prediction, and a very bold prediction, I should say. Before I could say that, though, because Dukanko is taking the lead. Or has he taken the lead? They should take a shortcut through Sander Bolt, but yes, Dukanko takes the lead. Then Hammer Time is second. Then this is going to get very interesting indeed. That is the Hammer Time has fresh tyres, but Dukanko does not have to let him through whatsoever, does he? There, so Dukanko could now run his own race, can he? So this may hurt Hammer Time will be. He does have a 8-second advantage over Smithy Almighty. Becca there is literally putting money on Hammer Time at winning the World Championship. Then of course he's going for 3 Grand Prix wins in a row now. Hammer Time isn't he? I think the most Grand Prix wins in a row, I think were 5, weren't they? If I'm not very much mistaken at all. For some reason, I'm thinking 5 or 7. And I'm sure, wasn't it by, I think it was by Eat the Cookie, wasn't it? In Gold, season 4 and 5, where he won 2 races at the very end of the season, and then he went on to win the first 4 Grand Prix, didn't he? So that might be 6 actually there. So there we go, I was almost right. But that might be completely wrong. But that number just sticks in my head. I think that Emerson actually might have actually broke that record last season potentially. But I'll have to put the old we'll have to get the old stat book out later on in tonight's event. Hammer Time all over the back at the moment. Cassal's got a 3-second penalty just then, and we've lost 5 cars already in the Monaco Grand Prix. They are ZGSN, who didn't even get off the start line. Unfortunately, TJ Hale, who was involved in that first corner, in that first lap shunt, wasn't it? As the 2 Williams, I think, came to blows, didn't they? Silva out of the race as well. Also Picasso out of the race, and so is Paris, and both Williams out of the race, and having a nightmare race, and they look so strong in qualifying, but it looks like Williams have got a very good qualifying car, but unfortunately in the race it's a different story. Having said that, Hammer Time is going for it, and he's got a 3-second penalty there. I'm not really too sure if Hammer Time was feeling the pressure from behind. We're seeing Lewis G again up in the 3rd position, but he's really pushing on there, and Hammer Time takes the lead in the Monaco Grand Prix. He was desperate to get by there. Hammer Time was there, and now he's through. Goodness me then. And Troy also said he got 5 in a row last season in silver, and I think that was actually a new silver record, wasn't it? For Troy, he got 5 wins in a row, didn't he? I think anyway. I gotta say, I really should memorise it, shouldn't I? I'm absolutely appalling stuff by me there. But surely Glock has more. I think that I know that Glock only has 11 Grand Prix wins in silver. I say only 11, as Buckhas is out of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness gracious me! And where is he? Oh, he's just right there in the firing line. And as Dukanka comes into the pits, well, Booty is now into 9th position then. Well, he was in 9th before that instant anyway into the pits. There comes Dukanka then, so he's changed onto the hard tyres. His teammate is in the pits as well, as Cassel is going to not be too happy there, because unfortunately the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers coming in exactly the same time, as they're changing tyres on the Alfa Romeo team as well. Now before he gets back out of the garage then, as Dukanko in front of Smithy. No, he's not. Smithy has done a great job there with the undercut. He's now in 6th position. Smithy is he's having an absolute blinder of a Grand Prix in the McLaren team, doing a great job indeed then. As Sarah Spencer said, I thought it was Glock then. I'll have a look in a minute. I'll get the old book out. But I'm sure that it was actually Eat the Cookie, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm really intrigued now. Hang on just a jiffy, everyone, as I've got to get out the all-time stats spreadsheet, which I don't think has been open since the beginning of the season then, as far as I'm aware anyway. But anyways, we're just watching Smithfield Whiteton, who's just keeping out the pressure at the moment then, in the McLaren, though, in the Papaya McLaren. But I think that Jinner's got 8 laps older tyres. Scooby Shoo's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles, hasn't he? At the moment, then. So we're just now on board with Jinners. We're coming into Raskas as well before accelerating away then, and now coming into Anthony Noakes then to start another lap. And Ross G is now starting to catch on J Dog. Then J Dog has done 9 laps on these soft tyres, and so soft tyres now starting to come past their best then, and go past their best now, aren't they? So Ross G is going to be in DRS, but as I said already in this broadcast, I don't think that the DRS there is going to be too effective around here tonight. So 14 cars remaining. We've lost 6 in this race already. We ain't even at half distance yet. 6, not 16. I'm sure I said 16 now. No, we've lost 6 cars in this race so far. Then we've still got 14 drivers left then to tackle the Monaco Grand Prix. Of course, remember next week then. But remember next week we are going to Azerbaijan. If we're going to Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And I've just had an almighty drop of sweat there just go onto my nose there, which is for goodness me, that's absolutely appalling stuff indeed there. Ross G, though, who's not going to be interested in about my personal hygiene or anything like that at the moment. All he's going to be concerned about is trying to get past J-Dog in the Haas car as well. Styles has made a point-scoring manoeuvre here. He is now in 10th position. Kaz has dropped down to 11th. So Styles then is back in the points, and he's aimed to score his first points of the season, along with Booty as well, who's in 9th position. So some good driving out there from the top 10. Great stuff indeed then. Of course, this is all about survival. Lovely sparks from the old rear of the Ross G's car at the moment in the Ferrari. Now coming down the hill into Mirabeau as well, and now then basically before going into the hairpin and accelerated away. And I've got to say, I don't think I've got the most wins in a row actually on my old stat book then, which is absolutely horrific stuff to say at the very least then. Of course, we've got the most wins in the season, which is Emerson with 12 in a gold anyway. Of course, then Troy has also got the most wins in a season in silver with 12 as well. Of course, then so Troy broke that previous record, which was set by Glock, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm gonna have to work that out before the next race and let you guys know then. So I think I know what I'm doing on my Saturday this weekend, everyone. I think I'm gonna be sitting down and working that out then. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm sure it's Eat the Cookie. But anyway, that remains to be seen. Into the pits comes J-Dog then. So we are losing that battle, which I was looking forward to be honest, because everyone else is a bit spread out at the moment as we're on at lap 15 then. Now he comes into the pits then. Into the pits comes J-Dog then. He's got 11 seconds of match so with Jitter at the moment, but then we've got Smithy Almighty, who's really standing up in the seat of this Mercedes, isn't he? He's having an absolutely fantastic Grand Prix in the McLaren. Smithy Almighty, who I got to say, he dropped down for bronze a couple of races early, didn't he, last season? But I think in Cobalt, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? There's been a lot of in Spain last week. Then he was quick, but he was very inconsistent. Today, he is quick and consistent. There, he's got the full package here tonight, hasn't he, Smithy? And he is really putting the pressure on Jitter, and he's got a lot younger tyres as well. 8 lap younger tyres then for Smithy, so he needs to. So he needs to get the hammer down, doesn't he? There, 3 seconds behind it is Dukanko on those hard tyres, and I think Dukanko's going to be going to the end of the race from here. Will Smithy on those 4-lap old medium tyres that I potentially, but remember, track position is king. Oh no! And Smithy Almighty, oh, I'm so sorry. Once again there, I give him the commentator's curse there for Smithy. He was having a great Grand Prix. He has touched the inside barrier, the New Fire chicane. He has spun around there, and he's dropped down into 5th position. Oh my word there, and the McLaren driver has dropped down to 6th position there. Goodness me, that is oh gosh, I'm ashamed of myself, ashamed. Here comes Casal, who has had a bit of a difficult start to this Grand Prix, hasn't he? He's in 14th position now, but he's now all over the back of Winnie, who is 32 seconds away from Sir Dave. Sir Dave is 20 seconds away from Kaz, and Kaz is about 8 seconds away from Styles, and that is the points there. Can Casal get points from here on in then? It's gonna have to be a mega performance from Casal, but it looks like he's looking very comfortable in this car. Well, Smithy there is still right up the gearbox of Dukanko then. So Smithy once again is showing that he has got some tremendous pace in his McLaren son, and so is Scooby Stu as well. Both McLarens had a difficult time last week in Spain. that door is always going to close there for Casal and Winnie. This is the battle for 13th and 14th position there. As Sirius Rush say, look at how quick those Wilders went to work there. Yeah, that spark has been there since I think since qualifying. I love it. I really do indeed. And I thought it was a Catherine wheel at first. If anyone used to, are we still allowed to say bonfire? Do we still do bonfire now? I'm not too sure anymore. I'm not even sure what we're allowed to say or not allowed to say anymore. But it used to be called a Catherine wheel, didn't it? I'm not sure. I'm thinking it might be called a spinny wheel now, potentially then. Or maybe I've just made all that up. Look at this queue of cars here. We've got Dukanko, Smithfield Almighty, Scooby Stew and J-Dog all in the same shot here. Then on the pit straight, and anything but a straight, then on lap 17 out of 39. As J-Dog is having a look then on Scooby Stew, but Scooby Stew is not going to let him go through that swiftly as he is now coming up here the Beau Rivage. Now before coming down into Casino Square as well, 4/10 of a second to gap is J-Dog is just coming to the pits and throwing on some new medium compound tires. Scooby Shoo has done 10 laps on those medium tires thus far, and Smithfield Mighty has done 6 laps at the very moment, and Jinner is going very long into this race, and I think that Jinner's going to be sucked into this battle as well, I think, because Jinner is there he is coming into the tunnel, and there's Dukanko, there's the two McLaren, so just see them come into shot there, so I think that so Jinner is going to be getting very nervous, and J-Dog has got a great run here down to the Nouvelle chicane at the inside, contact, and oh goodness me, and I don't think he was too far alongside J-Dog was there, was he? Unfortunately, that is such a shame for J-Dog. He's damaged the car. He was looking strong as well at this stage, and Dukanko has got a 3-second penalty for his troubles as well. Goodness me. Oh dear then. And oh goodness gracious me then. So this is not going at all well at the moment for J-Dog. So he's going to have to come back into the pits then. And what tires is going to go on now? I think he's going to medium tires again. Has he got a spare set of medium tires? J-Dog has. Is he going to get? I don't think he's going to get in front of Booty. He's going to get in front of Stars. So the Haas team is near enough at the end of the pit lane now. Apart from the Williams team now, he's back on the medium compound tires, and the Haas mechanic is going to work on that number 2. On that number 2 then, as Sirius Russian does agree with me as well. So I've learned something then from reading the comments in the old drivers chat in Discord there. So I'm very happy with myself. As he said that Sirius Russian said that that move was probably a bit too optimistic. He said it did feel like that, didn't it? 'Cause he did come from quite a long way back, didn't he? As that bar is still sparking. Now, God say that, I'm just going to keep commenting on that. I don't see it. Nucleus has to come out the new Welsh King and going in to back. Oh gosh, there, and Jinner is in the wall. He is out of the Grand Prix, and that is a major incident indeed. Then, and I think that we would have a safety car, but as we said, then Bert Mylander's on holiday here this weekend, as we think he's in the casino. That is Jinner is out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, and Booty is now into a solid 7th position. Good stuff indeed there, and Sirius Rush also says he's a changed man with no penalties here. Good stuff indeed there. Hammer Time has 6 seconds of penalties now. Styles over to a solid 8th. J-Dog in 9th position as well, with Cars is going to be in 10th position there. Dave in 11th, 12th is Casal, 13th is Winnie. So that's unfortunate there, isn't it, there for Jinner? So he's going to be first up, and the penalties are starting to come in thick and fast, isn't it? So penalties may cause someone some few tears then in tonight's race that is just now on board with Smith and Whitey in a solid 5th position, and this is his best performance of his career in Cobalt so far, isn't it? And he's definitely very much stand up in the seats of that Mercedes. McLaren looking good, looking very strong indeed. Both McLarens are looking very good at this stage of proceedings as well. Lap 20 out 39 then, so we're halfway through the Monaco Grand Prix now. We have lost almost half the field then. We are down to 13 cars in this race. Into the pits, there comes Winnie. Hats off to Winnie and Casal for staying with this one, because at the moment they're almost, according to that graphic, I don't think that graphic's right actually. I don't think Casal's 2 minutes behind Sir Dave. I think he's about 40 seconds behind last time we checked then. Well, we'll find out in a minute then, because I think Casal's got to get past the stationary car of Jinner then. So then we'll take stock of that gap again then. Spiritual Whitey is still giving Dukanko a few calls for concern then. Hammer Time is checked out in front then, 17 seconds in front then of Lewis G, and second position with Ross G in 3rd position. Good stuff indeed there with Dukanko is in 4th then. They're almost a pit stop. Well, I think they are a pit stop in front. Lewis G certainly is. Ross G will almost be in a pit stop in front then. Almost be a pit stop in front of them as the gaps are really starting to spread out now. Yeah, Casal is about a minute behind Sir Dave Fed. So Sir Dave Fair is only 14 seconds away from a potential points opportunity here then. So good stuff indeed there from Sir Dave. So good, and Casal back in the pits again then, but he can keep going because I think that with the second half of the race to go, this is where concentration really becomes a key factor in this Grand Prix, doesn't it there? So yes, there we've got. I think there's going to be some more tears here in Monaco, isn't it there? So do not go anywhere, folks. And this is not going to be the finish order. I can definitely very much guarantee you that then, as I've said that, and now it probably will be the finishing order, wouldn't it? But oh no! And look at Ducanco there. He has hit a lot of damage there off the Alfa Romeo, and that is not good at all for Ducanco. He's going to have a lot of register. There's Scooby Stew also at the background as well, as he is ready to strike as well. The two McLarens are now starting to hunt down the Alfa Romeo car of Ducanco. Ducanco is very much on his own with his teammate now, 12th finish now, a lap of drift to 11th place then. Oh goodness gracious me. Ducanco now, he's going to struggle as they look at the understeer on that car. Smoothie and Whitey needs to take his time. He's seen what happened there. He surely knows that there's damage, and Stiles is in trouble. He's in the pits as well. Stiles is I wonder if it's a strategical call or if Stiles got an issue. Oh, McLaren's a cut the blow. Sir Dave's got a 3-second penalty. It's all gone awry at the Lowe's hairpin. Oh goodness me. And oh dear, as both McLarens there have gone into each other, and I think also that Scooby Stew has damaged the car as well. I think both drivers have damaged the car here, and that is not good at all. It's J-Dog's down to 8th finish there. Stiles is coming out of the pits. He's going to be out in front of Sir Dave. He is out in front of Sir Dave, and Stiles in 10th finish there on the medium tire. Should get to the end of the session there. As Jidder then is out of the Grand Prix. Ducanco then is it's all gone a bit awry then for these 4th, 5th and 6th positions, and they're going to be disappointed with that then. So let's see then. I think they're all going to have to go in the pits. They're losing so much time now, aren't they? And that is damage then for Smithy. Smith and Monty staying out, as is Scooby Stew. Let's see if they have got damage then. We're going to find out now. Ducanco coming into the pits then, so this is earlier than scheduled, and I think he would have wanted to have gone to the end from here as well. So, but that's unfortunately not going to be the case now. He should get to the end from here though on those medium compound tires. Just saying, ooh, Duncan there, as unfortunately has damaged the car, and Kaz got a 3-second penalty as out of the pits now comes Ducanco as well. Bucci is now into a solid 6th position. Is J-Dog going to get through? Not quite. And so Ducanco now out in 7th position on those medium compound tires, and let's see how that one plays out then. Back to this battle here between the two McLarens and dueling away at the moment then. And I'm not sure these McLarens are limping or whatnot. We're going to look at the time then. The gap is 15.7 seconds between Booty and Scooby Stew. So we'll see if there's any damage on those two cars. There's J-Dog's in the pits. As he comes out of the pits now in the Haas, he has done I don't think that's a scheduled stop here then. So he is on the 3-lap old medium compound tires there, as and Dave was very close to going into the bar there, as Dave is starting to home in on these guys in front here, isn't he? So he might be able to get a point or two then for the Alpine team, which would be very good stuff indeed then. Scooby Stew then dropping off his team at the moment, but they still gapping Boots to the light behind them. So that is the crucial point in this race. And so even though they got damage, and just I say that, into the pits comes Smithy Almighty, and done 11 laps on the medium tires. And what tires are ready? It's the hard compound tires there for Smithy. I say we're gapping Booty, so I thought they might have tried to extend that slightly longer perhaps then, but Smithy into the pits and now out of the pits, and he gets the green light then, and away goes then for Smithy, and he is now, it's a race then down the pit lane then, and it's Smithy then. I think he's going to lose this one then, because Booty is through. He's now up into 5th position. Booty is fantastic stuff. Is he going to get out in front of Ducanco? Look, there is Ducanco on the right hand side then. Smithy is coming out now. Look, there he is then, and Ducanco's going to come out behind Smithy, and let the fight begin then. Smithy there had a bit of a pull run out of the pit exit there, and Ducanco is through. I am into 6th position now. I'm not sure what happened there with Smithy there, as he really struggled to get on the power there, didn't he? So Smithy down to 7th position there. Ducanco over in the 6th position. Into the pits there comes the Ferrari. 20 laps there, Kaz. That's a strong stint now on the Ferrari there, as Kaz without the front, without his helmet there, now with a new nose cone. Into the pits there comes Sir Dave as well there, and Sir Dave coming in the pits there, and not a nose cone change there for Sir Dave. So this is a strategical call. Good stuff there from the Alpine drivers. He comes back out now, and he's not too far away from Kaz. on board then with Dukanko at the moment. So Booty is currently in fifth position. Scooby Stew is in fourth at the moment. Scooby Stew is still gapping Booty Delight, and that is what he needs to do then. So can he gap it enough then to come in the pit set, throw on a new set of tyres so they come back out then? Will he need to throw on new tyres at this stage then when he next come in? I think he might have to. I think Booty on for a podium now from Serious Pressure there. Goodness me, I got to say, those are some withering heights there for Big Delight. Then he has got he's 18 seconds behind Scooby Stew, and Scooby Stew is a further 35 seconds back. But remember, concentration at this stage of the race is going to be absolute paramount, isn't it? To say the very least there. But Booty is going to have to really absorb the pressure now, which is going to come from this man here, Dukanko. As we're on board, Dukanko, a multiple podium sitter, never a Grand Prix winner just yet. Into the pits there comes the man who's second in the race set, and here he is then. So it's the Aston Martin mechanics going to work then, and there's a new nose cone as well being readied. So Lewis is in the pits there for a new nose cone onto the medium compound tyres, and he's coming back out now. Ross G has now been to second position then. So Lewis said now in the pits on the medium tyres. It's Hammer Time going to respond to this. He's got a 27-second gap to Ross G. He has enough time to come in the pits. I cut back out, but of course, when you come in the pits, there's still an added peril, isn't there, when you come in the pits there, of course. So really, does he really want to add the pressure on himself and the Alpha Tower mechanics? But we'll soon see. On board then with Dukanko in the Alfa Romeo car. Just in front of us is Booty as well. You can see he's gaining over him hand over fist there, because Booty has done 20 laps on those hard tyres. I think that Booty may need to stop again, to be honest. Well, I think he will from my untrained eye. No, those laps are going to be, those tyres are going to be very second-hand, detonate. There's a Booty there having a lot of sparks there. We've got yellow flags there. Is one of the Red Bulls there, who's Winnie there, who just had an issue there. I think it was coming out of Rascats, I think it was, if I'm not very much mistaken. J-Dog there is now catching on starts as well. We've got two battles there. They're now starting to really heat up there. Into the pits there comes a Ross G as well, as the battle between the two Gs of Ross and Lewis G in the battle for second and third at this moment then. And just as we're coming into the low hairpin, Booty has gone very wide there. And I think it's a bit too gentlemanly there for Booty. So I think he decided to let Dukanko go, which I got to say, that's very clever racing there from Booty. Of course, I would have battled until the very end there, but there we go. But that's probably why I don't get very far in my world of racing then. Dim, as Ming saying, good evening. Can we see how many pits they have done, please? And yes, indeed, your wish is my command, my good sir, if I can find it. So there are the pit stops so far, and talking of pit stops, into the pits comes Hammer Time. So this will be Hammer Time's second stop then, when he's got a 3-second penalty. 2 stops then for Ross and Lewis G. Scuba Stew has only done 1 stop at the moment, and 2 stops for Dukanko, 4 stops for J-Dog at the moment, but he's still in a solid 9th position then. 5 stops for Cassau, and 5 stops for Woody as well. As it comes out of the pits then, Hammer Time does. And so at the moment it's looking very, very calm in the cockpit, isn't it? The World Championship leader going for 3 Grand Prix wins in a row, isn't he? 3 out of 3 so far. He's dominating this World Championship at the moment, isn't he, Hammer Time? And he is going to take an exponential lead going into Azerbaijan in a week's time, if it stays the same, of course. Then, even if I think that whatever happens tonight, then, especially with the drivers out of the race, then Hammer Time is not going to lose the lead of the championship. So Hammer Time then is looking very happy indeed. That he's 26 seconds in front of the Ferrari of Ross G, with Lewis G not too far behind him as well. Lewis G has set the fast lap of the race set, as he is now starting to hunt down his fellow G brethren here. So that's going to get very good indeed. And Booty is now being chased by another driver, and this time it is Smithy Almighty. So Booty then, who's getting out of the way then, by the looks. So I think that Booty is just concerned about getting some points there. I can't really say too much, because in my first Monaco Grand Prix, I did exactly the same, actually. I think I said last night, actually, about I took out Roscoe, but before that I was actually I was just trying to keep out of everyone's way, because I was an absolute menace. So I can't say too much at all. So Booty's doing exactly what I was doing back in my first Monaco Grand Prix in the league race about. And so hats off to him, doing a good job today then, which is the nicest thing I'm going to say about my family member. Out of the pits there comes Scooby Stew then. He is now on the soft tyres, and he's got to do a 11 laps on these soft tyres, Scooby Stu has said. So that's going to be quite a long way into this Grand Prix. Are those tyres going to last then? That's going to be my question on my mind then. We'll find out then. Booty, the question I got though is, will Booty need to come in the pits? And Roche is now set a fast lap, and he's now starting to extend his advantage over himself and Lewis G, who's in third position at the moment. But some major points there from both the G's. Winnie is in the pits again, and that's his 6th pit stop here tonight. Then there's a lot of pit stops going on there because this is a brutal old Grand Prix, to say the very least. Said. And Sarah's was saying, I think Becca may have been right to damn her. Yes, I think. Well, I got to say, it was. As much as anyone's brave to do an old flusher on the old betted seat. I must say that I'm not too surprised that Becca's right on this occasion. Now, Hammer Time is really, since the get-go of this World Championship, it's been pretty magnificent, to say the very least. But we're soon. But of course, there's still a long way to go in this race. There's still 10 laps to go. But Hammer Time is trying to go for the full shebang of points once again, isn't he? He is very much head and shoulders in this division at the moment. Hammer Time is, isn't he? And it's just waltzing away in the World Championship and in the Monaco Grand Prix as well. But the battle behind him is getting very interesting. And same with this battle here between Sir Dave and Kaz. Sir Dave is now very much coming to the back of the Ferrari. There are the penalty situations at the moment. 6 seconds of penalties for Hammer Time. As we got yellow flags in sector 1. And, I think it's the one of the Alfa Romeos that just got out the window. I think it was Casal. But in terms of the penalty situation, a 3-second no penalty there for Ross G, for Booty, or for J-Dog. Fantastic 17. 6 seconds there for the race leader. 6 seconds for Dukanko and Smithy and Kaz and Sir Dave and Casal. 9 seconds for Winnie. 9 seconds for Scooby Stew as well. And then 3 seconds for everyone else in the field there. But Sir Dave at the moment there is 7 tenths of a second back at the moment there. We're on board there with Sir Dave. We haven't seen much of Sir Dave in a combat, have we? So I am going to very much lean backwards from my TV, as this could get very interesting indeed then, Sir Dave. Sir Dave is all over the back of the Ferrari now, as Sushi's got a 3-second penalty then to add to his account then. Now that's now up to 6 seconds. With the moment, I shouldn't make too much of a difference. Like, he's 41 seconds in front to Kanko in 4th position. Then we're just in Hammer Time, lap Booty Delight as well. So the race leader is now lapped up into 5th position. Fantastic! As there's a Ferrari in the wall then, as he's lost all the wing section there. So Dave may just have to drop back slightly there. And I think he is there. He's got a 50-second advantage there between himself and Casal. So all Dave's got to do is just keep it neat and tidy in this Grand Prix, and he should get a point then. Having said that though, Casal is going to probably, is he on a fresh set of tyres then? Although they're on the same set of tyre life. So Dave is just hanging back, but doing a very clever figure. So I'm very impressed there. And I have a feeling that there is a certain Dan Murphy, who remember that Dan Murphy, the old admin of the Silver division. Remember that I think he's probably talking them through, talking both Booty and Sir Dave through, because up until this race, and they've been very up and down, haven't they, in terms of form, haven't they? Unfortunately, they're both out of the Grand Prix in Spain quite early doors, weren't they, really? So I think it's very nice to have a Carmen influence there in the old parties. I remember last season as well. I think that we seen Brooks had an engineer as well, didn't we? I think Brooks had an engineer, didn't he? I think it was Percy, wasn't it? It was his engineer in Cobalt as well. And it worked it worked very well indeed though for Brooks, didn't it? So I think that definitely very good stuff indeed there from both those drivers. So fantastic stuff. And also seriously, say Booty's doing a beast of a job, driver, as is Ross G as well. Ross G's doing a cracking driver for no penalties. And Lewis G doing a great job as well. Really good stuff. But I think anyone that's in the race said, I think that you're all doing absolutely fantastic. You really are indeed. Smith Almighty is doing a brilliant job, and so is Scooby Stew. But Scooby Stew has got quite a quick car underneath him now. As Booty has done 26 laps on these hard tyres, so he's really pushing them to the limit and beyond here. So Scooby Stew now is very much going to be right underneath the gearbox there. And Booty to like that. Booty to like that is going to defend then, but he doesn't defend too hard. Then he knows that battle might not be worth fighting for. And remember, he's got 8 laps there, no penalties, and that could come back to help him later on. I think he's just had a glancing blow, didn't he, with the barrier? Booty did then, so I hope that's not the case. And I hope he hasn't got damage then for Booty. Yellow flag in sector 1 then, as Sir Dave fell. I think this, he was just letting the race leader through, wasn't he? I think he might have been. And now Stars head all over the back of Booty's gearbox as well. All over the back of Booty's booty then, by the looks at it, as we come across that as well. Just want to say, Dan Murphy, you kidding? Yes, I don't think he's ever got a suit in, boys. I think Dan has. But I think I think that he is definitely helping out those two drivers. And of course, that's what we do like about. Of course, that's what we do like about ALR as well. Is lots of drivers do help each other out as well, don't they? And it's really good stuff to see, and do share, do bounce off each other as well. Especially for the likes of me, for example, it's very good stuff indeed. There, I know that Ayrton has helped me out on this game. And really showed me a thing or two about how to drive the car properly. Unfortunately, Ayrton's not a magician, so there we go. But he has definitely done wonders for one pace. Good stuff indeed there. Dan V and Carmen is like saying that Nettles is touchable. Well, technically they are touchable, but oh goodness me, his Kaz has just gone straight through us here. Oh my word, there. Nettles are touchable, aren't they? But yeah, you got to be very careful. So yes, Dan is quite a delicate. Oh my word then, and Lewis G is gone off the circuit, and we've had some debris come off another car, and that is who it was. It was Scooby Stew. He has got wing damage in the McLaren, and this is not going to talk, so he's having to come into the pits there. And yeah, so Scooby Stew then, and that is the problem, is that of course so instead he sometimes helps you in the Grand Prix, doesn't Scooby Stew is going to be kicking himself, and that is a big blow indeed then, and accelerates it out then, accelerates out of the way then, so rather indeed then, so that's very unlucky there for Scooby Stew. I saw his Ayrton's comment there. And yeah, everyone's very impressed with Booty Lights. And fantastic stuff indeed that I'm very impressed with both Booty and Dave. Consider the fact I know them very well on the Formula 1 game. I'm impressed that they keep their concentration for 33 laps around Monaco. And that's nothing to sneeze at. Here's Styles though. Styles, another driver that's absolutely fantastic as well. I think that this race, I think, is the start of something very, the start of seasons for a lot of drivers out there. I think that the start of the season for Stars, the start of the season for Booty, the start of the season for Scooby Stew, the start of the season for Smith. He's got points already, Smith, has said, but this is an impressive performance. Maybe the start of the season for Sir Dave as well. Those 5 or 6 drivers I just read out there, I think that this is now going to really spur them on for the rest of the Cobalt. Of course, so we've got another tough street circuit coming up in a week's time. Of course, that is in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Of course, so we're now ghosting. It's that Ferrari of Ross G. It's just trying to lap us here. Let's look this is exactly what Stars would see then if Stars racing about Ross G, and look at the pace that Stars has said. No, that's a very good visual there, isn't it? Stars is a bit quicker in the straight line, but Ross G certainly has a lot more, has a bit of a bigger wing on the barn door. Ayrton saying Booty driver today, no penalties, hasn't crashed so far. A star. So first say no one helps me. Clicky crew. Of course, I don't think Serious Russia needs much help, though, does he? Because he's a Grand Prix winner, and oh no! And it's the other McLaren as well. Oh my goodness me! The McLaren team are going to absolutely hate me, and I think I'm going to have a threatening note from Zach Brown. I think after this race there in Cobalt, I seem to just jinx their drivers, don't I? Hopefully, Smithy Almighty hasn't got damage to that front wing section. Just taking a look there, it doesn't look like he has. So hopefully he's okay. I've got an itch here, sorry. So hopefully he's okay then. But Smithy Almighty, what a shame there for the McLaren driver, and that is such a shame. But has he got down? He has, you know. Oh, yellow flag. As a Stars is off as well, and you can just see at the top of the screen, one McLaren coming in the pits. The other Red Bull is doing a 3-point turn. Oh my goodness gracious me! And Smithy coming in the pits, they're changing the nose cone, and they have now put on 12-lap old medium tyres. So Smithy has it, so he's not even got a new set of tyres. And is he going to get out in front of his teammate? And there's the Red Bull mechanics. There's Stars in the background, having to make an unscheduled stop then late on in this Grand Prix. Out of the pits now comes Scooby Stew. J-Dog is coming across the line, and look, there is Smithy. J-Dog is now up into 7th position now, and he is going to be very happy with that. And look at us in the back, and there he is. And so J-Dog now up into 7th, and Smithy up into 8th position as well. And well, incredible stuff indeed then. Lap 36 out of 39 in this Grand Prix, and I've got to say, I don't even know what to think here, as Winnie there is gone off it. Rosberg's favourite parking spot, Winnie has there, so Winnie there just coming back onto the track there as well. And look at it, as Lewis G has got a 3-second penalty then to his name then. Ghosting car if you're being overtaken, ghosting car if you're being overtaken, just let it go then. As Search Much Of course, the lap cars do have, oh gosh, there, and that's a Red Bull. Then it has damaged the nose cone, and that is, I think, is that Star? So it's Winnie. Winnie's got damage there on the Red Bull, and he's got to make another stop then. And goodness gracious me, that's such a shame there for Winnie. Serious person is saying that the ghosted card. If you're being overtaken, just let it go. Then yes, of course, you can unlock yourself. You do have your prerogative to unlock yourself, of course, but it does hinder the front race, doesn't it? Albeit your ghost then, and technically you're not disturbing their air or anything. It's very difficult, isn't it? There too, it's very difficult, really, to it does hurt your line of sight and all that kind of stuff. But as Marshall saying, the big dog as well. So J Dog is now up into the 7th position. But Smith Almighty there is going to be putting J Dog. Is going to be keeping J Dog on his toes there, isn't he, for the remainder of the race. A lovely shot here from the Haas cars. We're going down into Mirabeau as well. And look at this. It's Smith Almighty who this is going to be very difficult. They're on the similar life of tires. Only Smith Almighty gets a yellow flag as one of the Aston Martins is having issues. It's Lewis G again now. And Lewis G then, who's having a bit of a nightmare into the Grand Prix, but luckily he's up 42 seconds in front of Ducanco, who is in 4th position. And so Lewis G shouldn't have too many, if he comes to the pits, he shouldn't be overtaken there from Ducanco. And I'm wondering if he might go for the fast lap. No, he's staying out there, Lewis G has said, and just keeping on with this at the moment. So into the final lap of the Grand Prix, and now we've got Scooby Stew, J-Dog, and Smithy Almighty within the same piece of track. And there they are, then they're all in the same piece of track then. So this is going to get very interesting at the final stage of the Grand Prix as well. Lap 37 out of 39 in the final 3 laps in the Monaco Grand Prix. And yes, and it's been a very interesting one, this one, as I said. But I think that since the get-go, Hammer Time is absolutely well, he's almost done it from start to finish there, of course, apart from Ducanco, who overtook him when Ducanco went long in the opening stint. Then apart from that, it's been a very controlled drive as the Hammer Time going for his 3rd Grand Prix win of the season, and really starting off this season absolutely fine form. It's the brilliant stuff indeed there for Hammer Time. My goodness me then, and he is going to have a almighty lead in the World Championship, isn't he? Very good stuff indeed with Paris out of the race. Brooksy not racing tonight, either his 2 championship challengers. He is going to be well over a win. Well, it's going to be a win and a half, I think, in front of anyone else there. So even if he has a bad time in Baku, he will still not lose the championship lead. So he's guaranteed the championship lead at least all the way through until Canada in a couple of races time. My goodness me, that is a absolutely incredible start to the season here. Scooby Stew's got a penalty there as well. Boot, serious person say Booty's on 31 lap out hard tires. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely mega stuff there for Booty, but he is in puncture territory now. So he's got to just nurse that car home, hasn't he? Booty into the pits. There comes Carsett as Dave who's in the final point scoring position there, as Booty's going to be very nervous that those tires are not going to fall out from underneath him then, as 12 seconds back then. Scooby Stew is there with 1 lap to go then, and this is the man on the final lap then. Here he is, he's coming up the hill. Hammer Time is then doing he's just been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed. Then I'm starting to feel like Jamie, I'm the only one saying anything. Laugh out loud there for Search Rush. Don't worry, my good sir. You'll keep me on my toes and making sure that what information I say is correct then. But albeit most of my information is never correct, is it? But there we go. As we're just watching this 3-car battle here, but it is Hammer Time 40 seconds in front of the nearest car. Impressive stuff indeed. Then is that I think the bronze was the closest race last night, but apart from that, the other 3 Grand Prix of Cobalt, Silver and Gold have really had some dominating performances, haven't they? Really impressive stuff indeed. There's been a lot of impressive races, haven't there? Lewis G is now in the pits there, but I'm thinking that might be too late to go for a fast lap there, as he's almost going to be lapped then. Is that McLaren is into the wall there, and I think as soon as Hammer Time if he laps his J-Dog as well, which he has done now, that is it. So those drivers are pulling out the way, and you finish there. But it's Hammer Time who wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Ducanco is out of the Grand Prix. Oh my goodness me! And with 1 lap to go, he was a couple of corners away from home. He is out. Ross G is going to be in second, but it's Hammer Time is dominated from start to finish. Absolutely dominating performance, to say the least. Smith Almighty and Scooby Stew dropped down there with J-Dog going up into a very solid 6th position there as well. And there's the Alfa Romeo there right in the line of fire. Ross G then on his Cobalt debut is going to come through to finish a very solid 2nd position today. Really. Booty! Oh no, and Booty's out of the race as well, but and he could have finished 4th there if he completed this last lap. And oh goodness me, there Booty, but he finished 5th today because all the drivers behind him have been lapped and have finished the race set. J-Dog in 6th, Smithy 7th, Scooby 8th, and Styles and not finished and getting his first points of the season. Congratulations to Styles, Sir Dave, and Scooby Stew, Booty Delight as well. Great drivers from all those drivers today, and I think that this is going to be the start of something, start of the season, I would say. Hammer time while he started the season, and then some, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me, then he has, since the start of the season, he's just absolutely just run away with this, hasn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed then. Oh goodness me, Troy saying the AlphaTauri team are looking absolutely untouchable in the Constructors Championship. Styles getting drive today as well. I do not argue with that whatsoever. Brilliant stuff there from Styles there. Absolutely hats off to him as well. As Serge Mushroom is just as disappointed as I am there. As Booty could have got 4th there, but unfortunately crashed on the final lap, which means Dukanko doesn't lose a position there. So he'll be very happy with that one. I am sure about that then. As just taking a look there, there's Hammer Time then, who is absolutely loving it there. As he's on the top step once again. Is he there? Goodness gracious me, he's not letting anyone take that top step, is he? He is not a man that likes to share, is he? 3 race wins on the bounce. His 4th Grand Prix win of his career, with the G's in 2nd and 3rd position, Ross G 2nd, Lewis G in 3rd position. I've got that the right way around as well. Goodness me, South High Five. So well done indeed to those two debutantes as well, Lewis G and Ross G. First time they've raced in Cobalt and on the podium as well. Magnificent. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we then, for the Monaco Grand Prix. Hammer time, 3 wins from 3 this season. His 4th Grand Prix win of his career as well. His first pole position this today as well. Magnificent. Ross G in 2nd position then on his debut. 3rd position was Lewis G. Dukanko in 4th position there. 5th position was Booty Delight. 6th position was J-Dog. Smithy Almighty 7th there. Scooby Stew 8th. Styles driver today in 9th position. Brilliant stuff. Sir Dave getting a point as well in 10th position. Good stuff indeed there from all those drivers, for all the drivers that have scored for the first time today. Kassan in 11th position. Kaz in 12th position. Winnie in 13th position there. Retirements was Jenner, Buckass, Paris, Picasso, Villa, Hale, and ZGS didn't even get off the line. Those are our 20 participants for the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed then. And Hammer Time has joined me in the gantry now. Hammer Time, I gotta say, you almost led that race from start to finish, barring 1 or 2 laps then. It looked very easy from my point of view.
It was a lot tougher than I thought, man. It wasn't easy at all, but the guys really, I don't know what happened. Once you know the track, you're just getting in a flow and you're just driving with your head empty and just drive to the end.
Let's just talk about qualifying first. So that was your first pole position of your career, which I'm quite surprised by, to be honest. But my goodness me, then you just looked like you had it in the first qualifying session. I thought it was going to be Ross or Lewis G really putting you under pressure. But the 2nd and 3rd qualifying session, you really showed your teeth. That was a fantastic qualifying free performance.
Yeah, man. In qualifying 1, I really, what the fuck, man. Lewis and Ross scared the shit out of me with the times. But no, yeah. My 2nd one went pretty good, and my 3rd one went amazing. So I'm pretty happy.
And then coming on to the race as well, as you already mentioned, then did it feel like an out-of-body experience then? Because you probably felt like you was the only one on the road there, 35 seconds in front of everyone else. You lapped everyone apart from the other 2 in this party tonight. Then it just looks so incredible, absolutely fantastic stuff. Then today, then, how did you feel in the car? Because I got to say, it must have just been a battle between yourself and your concentration.
Yeah, I was just trying to get at least track limits and just trying to nail the lap times. But on those hards, it's really hard to also keep the car out of the barrier.
And just talking about this season as a whole so far, this is your 3rd Grand Prix win in 3 races. You've absolutely blitzed the opposition so far this season. I've got to say, you're in a league of one. What's changed for you this season? Did you just feel more comfortable in the car in the driving the AlphaTauri? What's changed for you?
Yeah, I think the AlphaTauri is amazing. Brooksy was amazing last year in the AlphaTauri, and now I got the chance. But I don't know. I'm hoping that I can battle against Brooksy some more, so I get a tough season. But I don't know. It's sad to see him not here.
Indeed, I echo that as well. It's a shame that Brooks wasn't here because I think we had a great battle between the top four today. As a Dukanko, I would have added Dukanko in there as well, but he seemed to been a bit off the pace of the race then. But fantastic stuff indeed there for our time today. Going on to Baku in a week's time. How are you feeling going into there? It's another street circuit, so surely it's going to be the same result, isn't it?
Yeah, sad to say I'm not racing in Baku. I'm on vacation, so.
Well, you've definitely earned it then, and I've got to say, I think that you've definitely earned it actually because you're guaranteed the Championship League going into Canada. How long are you on vacation for?
Only 1 week, man. I'm back after Baku.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Are you going anywhere nice?
No. Here in the Netherlands, so shitty weather. Always.
Brilliant stuff. Well done indeed, Hammer Time. Fantastic. Let's come to Ross G in second today. Ross, I got to say that this was your debut tonight. And my goodness me, you just stormed up into second today. Fantastic stuff.
I crashed in qualifying as well. I thought, oh, that's it over. I can't overtake. Then the guy in front of me spun. It was just a case of making sure Lewis made mistakes and taking him on. And I done that, so happy enough.
But at least you didn't crash in the race, though, and you got from fourth to second in the end with a solid performance as well. So sure, that ain't too bad. Hello?
I got no penalties. Lewis ended up with 9 seconds, I think.
Yeah. I think you did get no penalties. So how difficult is it not to get any penalties?
It depends on what tyres you're using. As Hamilton was saying, on the hard tyres, it's impossible to try and keep out the barriers. See, if you slid down the hard tyres, that's it, it's game over.
And I think you had a good battle between yourself and Lewis G, but it seemed like it was only you two on the track that was battling each other today. How difficult was it to keep out the barriers as well? Because not only that, then, because you didn't get no penalties, but no incidents with the barrier either. I don't think. Did you touch the barrier? I don't think you did.
I did on, I think, lap 3, then I pitted early the same as Lewis to cover that, so I changed my wing there, but it was only lime green damage, so it was alright. Nothing major.
Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then, and a really good result for Ferrari as well. What's the most difficult aspect of this race today?
Not putting in the wall.
I think that's probably the easiest answer you've ever given, isn't it?
Aye.
Well done, Ross. Brilliant stuff today. Fantastic stuff. And let's come to the other G. It's now Lewis G, who has qualified second today. He finished third. Lewis, I think that today, are you happy with third position or are you a bit disappointed?
I'll take it. I'm surprised I wasn't out of the race. I was behind Ross at one point. We're going down the downhill sticky, and the back end, I hit the back tyre off. I was, oh no.
I got to say, it was very close, I think, between you and Ross coming out of the pits at one stage. Said, goodness me, did you think you was able to get him?
It was debatable because I was getting a lot of track limits, so it was hard in that aspect of it. I think he actually just had me in pace anyway.
But a third position in the end, then, and on the podium as well. I expect that you'll be looking forward to coming back for some more Cobalt racing.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely cracking stuff. Well done indeed, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us tonight as well. Those are our podium sitters then, and just as I said, the session ends then. Join us next week as we are back in action for, I think it's Baku, I've been saying that all night, haven't I? It's for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku then. Another street circuit then, another race then for the drivers to really sink their teeth into. There's going to be a golden opening though, isn't there, for Cobalt with Hammer Time on vacation. And what about gold as well? That race on Sunday has really shook things up, hasn't it? Emerson is taking the lead in the World Championship. Can anyone stop that man from becoming a three-time world champion? See you Sunday.